but that was just too good.
Just continue being honest. That's what we're doing right now.
Yeah.
We're just being honest about everything right
Like I said last week, man, be real. Be real. 2019.
It's not all lights, camera, action around
No.
here.
Sometimes, you know, like when I push this mic back a bit, like I'm literally pushing it back. Like it's not a cut. No games. No games.
Put my phone away so I can't get yelled at.
Yeah, I know. I put mine over there. I don't want to get distracted.
Only I. No, I'm joking. What? I'm like, I'm always on the phone.
You're taking phone calls halfway through.
Yeah, I got no one to talk to today.
Oh.
I think you have to start for warning people that they are on speakerphone.
Ah. No, I don't care.
No, I like that. It makes it more wild.
Yeah, dude.
No, you gotta give people a chance to censor themselves.
No, they're stupid. What do you think this is? Obviously, you're on speakerphone.
I like
You're on the podcast.
I always like it when your friends call.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't.
Always adds a little spice to
I think every Monday I put podcast day for a reason. And I think I always record right before we do the podcast to let people know that we're about to go down.
Most people probably don't think that this is for real, though. They're like, when is this guy gonna give it up? 53 of these episodes?
Yeah.
Really? He's still here?
And he's not popping. You don't even got an ad.
Can we vow to never have ads?
Oh, we're not having
Or
ads.
would we roll an ad if somebody
Are we
presented a bag?
Are we selling out?
Yeah, Chick-fil-A.
What?
Well,
Hang on. I need your deep dive into why Chick-fil-A of all things.
Yeah, I don't care who it is. It's about the check.
Yeah.
Are you guys selling out for the check?
Oh, absolutely.
Nah, I don't know.
Nah, I want to keep this as...
I don't know. The ad, the ad has to be like really, like I have to really feel passionate about the ad.
Not Chick-fil-A.
Not Chick-fil-A.
No.
I'm not eating at Chick-fil-A. I don't want a lifetime supply.
They
of
don't even have
Chick-fil-A.
Chick-fil-A here.
Where aren't they supposed to?
I'll take a lifetime supply. Now you're talking my language.
No, I'm good. I don't want a lifetime supply of Chick-fil-A.
How about Freshie?
No,
Ooh,
No.
now you're talking his
no,
language.
I don't want a lifetime supply of nothing.
Subway?
Hell no.
You don't want to. What's that guy? The what diet? The
Jared?
Jared diet?
No.
He's in jail. He's
Yeah, didn't he go to jail for
Yeah.
some?
touching little kids with R. Kelly.
I was gonna just say. I was just gonna say tomfoolery.
Yeah.
But you took it to somewhere else.
I can't. We canceled R. Kelly last week.
I heard.
Yeah, sorry, Dan.
It's okay.
We don't ever mention that name after this moment. Yeah,
That's
how we go. No, we're not. I don't know.
I've taken a couple of those songs out of my library.
When we okay.
So has a lot of people.
Rightfully so.
When we get man, because I'm pissed because there's that one song on that Bieber album,
And they were talking.
Wait, on the acoustic of Bieber album.
No, it's not even he probably has an acoustic version of that album, but now I can't listen to it, man.
That's the only R. Kelly song I know. I just gave it to you guys. Ignition.
I can't listen to that either.
Yeah.
Nope. Hotel. No.
With who's the
Cassidy?
Yeah.
No.
Wow.
There are a few songs that I like.
No, there's no doubt that he's been on a lot of big songs.
Yeah.
But it's okay. I can live without those songs.
Yeah. I don't know, man. That Bieber song kind of makes the album, and now he kind of killed it for me. So I'm kind of really pissed
Thanks,
off.
pal.
I'm pissed off about that. But no, in terms of, they probably don't think we're doing shit. Like when we get to episode 100, it's like still no ads. Yeah. Sorry, folks. It's a long grind.
The same 6 people still listen.
Yeah. Hey, okay. Anyways, you're supposed to tell them that. 6 downloads and counting.
3 of them are us.
Yeah. That's how you know we really ain't shit. That's how you know we really ain't shit. Guys, it's one of those days. And I sighed.
One of those.
It's one of those days. It's Monday.
It's funny how now that we're around each other a lot, you pick up on each other's mannerisms.
Yeah. Yep. I know where this is going. We didn't really talk this weekend.
I'm trying not to touch the mic. I'm doing my best.
Yo. We didn't really
sit on your hands.
Yeah. We didn't really talk this weekend.
We all went our separate
ways. Even with Dan back. First time seeing Dan back. It wasn't the same without you.
Thank you.
Yeah, I got used to the 3-man podcast, and
yeah, it kind
doesn't
of
feel
felt
the
weird
same.
doing a 2-man, and like Fabs and I've been doing this for a while, so that's the only reason why we survived actually, because we've been doing it for so long. Shout out to Laura for her contributions.
Yeah, good job.
You will not be forgotten. Your shirt, on the other hand,
was
that was forgotten.
Yeah.
She joined the Hall of Fame of esteemed
Yeah.
appearances on this show.
But you know what? She didn't bring a playlist, so it kind of works hand in hand.
That's fair.
That's fair.
Playlist, sure.
Probably would have got some.
Shirt, playlist. That's kind of how it works.
Probably would have got some British boy bands on that playlist.
That's fine. We could
A little One Direction.
we could be
Yeah.
open to that.
Nothing wrong with little Harry Styles.
Yeah. We're open to any type of music here at the InnerViews Podcast. But I feel like you guys kind of just like want to get into the shits. Dan's pretty tired. Fab is going to be tired. He's going to be mad at me, even though I'm still going to be tired.
I'm probably mad at you every day from midnight to like 4.
Yeah,
Oh, that's fair.
That sounds about correct.
that's fair. Just let it be known that I go through the same painful process. Although I may be, accustomed to it now, I've assimilated to that lifestyle. Just let it be known. that I'm there-
Oh no, I know. 'Cause
I'm there
the only way I get it is if you did it.
Yeah. I'm there. That's how. Wow. But yeah, you're right. You're right. It's one of those days. It's a new week. I love Mondays. Mondays are the best days. It is the best day of the 7 days of the week. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. I don't care what you guys say. Monday's the best day.
You guys are talking shit.
Yeah. Let it be known.
That's what it is.
And I can't wait till it's Thursday. Till we can do Thursdays again.
I think that will bring new life to this.
Yeah.
again.
Man, if we didn't have real jobs,
Hey,
Mondays and Thursday would have been great.
Can you imagine you get paid to do this?
Mm.
It's okay.
Well, maybe we might be onto something.
We might
Or
have
maybe
to-
someone was already onto something, and we're just gonna like play catch up and get to that.
we
Sometime.
might have to run some ads.
we'll pass them.
Anyways, since since you guys want to run ads, I don't want to run ads. This feels like a little long ad. It's like a little promo, just like the little build up to the
teaser.
podcast. I don't know if people want to hear us talk that.
You have to poll if people enjoy our shenanigans at the beginning.
I don't care.
Okay, that's fair.
I don't care.
You got shut down, Fab.
Okay.
I don't care. What
Not-
do you mean?
Not the first time, not the last.
This is not the podcast we're gonna come to and straight to soccer. We might as well get that straight to the point right now. You're not gonna come here and we're just not gonna fill your brains with footy and soccer knowledge. Sorry, wrong place.
We will eventually.
No fact checker. Dan's dreaming. It's not gonna be minute 10 seconds in. Well, this weekend, this is what had happened. No. Like I tell you guys every week, I care about what you got, what's going on in your lives, and what you guys see. I think the viewers should care too, because we care about what they.
And the listeners.
Yeah, the listeners, the viewers, the listeners, we care about
We're
how
on
you feel.
Multiple platforms.
Yeah.
You see that?
You guys want to ask a question? We'll answer it.
Yep.
So don't be shy. But it goes both ways. I care about what they're going through, and I hope they care what I'm going through. So no, sorry, Dan. Sorry, Fabs.
Dan's always the brunt of everything.
Yeah, you guys gotta pull some shit. You guys gotta do some fun things during the week besides watch soccer.
I'm trying.
The same goes for me. With that being said, Fabs, the mic's on.
Mics are
I'll
on.
ask you politely. Is
Mic-
the camera on?
Oh, yes, it is.
Are you guys ready?
Let's do this shit.
Dan, whoa, time difference, time change. Are you ready? You good for this?
I'm ready.
What time would it be wherever you were?
What time is it now? It
Been like
is
1.
8 o'clock. It is 1 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, you should have still been partying. You're
See?
good.
Yeah,
so
I'm
since
still-
since everyone's ready, cams are rolling, mic's rolling,
Yep.
everything else, all the shitty majigs, they're good. They're good.
The shinny majig.
Yeah, whatever. They're good.
Everything's rolling. Let's
All
go.
right, it's the InnerViews Podcast, episode number 53. It's your guy Tyrrell. We're live and direct from Toronto. I'm in a mood. That means everyone else is in a mood. Everyone wants us to get into it. We're not getting into it. This is the best Toronto soccer/footy podcast in the world, and I am here with two great guys, Fabs, Dan. I know how you guys are, so I'm not going to ask you, but they are here. They're ready to talk about everything that's transpired this weekend. Last week I said I was the host. I thought it was trash, so I'm not going to tell you that. I'm the guy that introduced the podcast. I'm the guy you see on YouTube. And to the left and right of me are two guys that know a hell about soccer. They know a lot. They're very smart. And we're here to provide you with organic, unfiltered soccer/footy analysis. Guys, I know I'm not supposed to ask you how you are, but I'm still going to do it. Everything's good?
Everything is great.
I'm good, but I don't know if those are words I'd use to describe myself, but I'll take them.
Such as?
Smart and knowledgeable.
Okay.
No, I'll give you the smart and knowledgeable. Listen to you guys last. Actually, you know what?
Yeah,
Let me
yeah,
start
Dan,
off-
how
let
did
me
it-
let me start off by saying I definitely missed not being on the podcast last week.
What is it like to be the listener?
it's kind of weird to be. Well, I listened to the podcast anyway, but it was weird not being in front of the mic last week.
So what you're saying is you've come to be comfortable in front of the mic.
Yeah, I like to think so.
Were you guys public speakers?
Yes, I can do some public. I don't mind public speaking.
I can if I want to be.
Yeah.
You would like to think that.
I'd like to think this helps a little bit, even though we're not looking at anybody. But
That's what you think.
well, we are.
People are watching us all the time.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Oh, really?
How are you?
I think I've only really had like one or two forays into public speaking. I don't think they went very well.
Well, your big one is coming up.
Yeah,
So.
you just wait.
You prepare.
It only
You know
gets
how often I think about that, and I'm like, damn, I don't know if I'm gonna make it through that whole thing.
it only gets bigger and brighter from here.
By the way, who are your MCs for that wedding?
You two.
Oh,
Can't wait.
Yeah, you gotta be
Can't
prepared.
all right.
Yeah, we'll be fine.
Yeah.
There's gonna be a little corner, and you guys are gonna be set up, and we're gonna do a live to air.
You better pay. Well.
Hey.
You better pay well.
Oh, I'm a little strapped right now. You guys aren't up there on the budget.
You guys had a good weekend?
It was good. Did you guys see that egg thing?
I don't understand what that was.
No, I didn't see it, but I saw it, but I didn't care.
What's it about?
It's just some random person decided to get a bunch of followers to like a picture of an egg
Hey, no.
to break the Kardashian record or the Kylie Jenner record of however X amount of likes she had on a picture.
Yeah, man, people are losers.
Like in one breath, it makes me. It restores faith in humanity because we all came together to do something against the Kardashians.
Yeah.
But in the other breath, it's like
Yeah,
humans came together to do that.
yeah.
Like out
Out of all things that we could come together to do,
we get behind the picture of an egg.
yeah. I told you.
Well, like, that's
told
why.
you.
That's why I don't trust us.
I told you, humans are trash. That's fair to say. I'm a human.
That's
Yeah,
That's-
we're trash.
but you don't like VAR.
Huh?
But you don't like VAR.
Yeah, I don't.
You want the refs. You like the humans.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm fine with them being trash in certain elements, but
As a whole.
yeah, as a whole. But I'm accepting that we're trash. That's totally fine.
Okay, that's fair.
That's fine. What else happened besides the egg thing?
I couldn't wrap my brain around that one, but
I pass. Like there's certain things in my mind that I filter out just for the sake of filtering out because I did not want to know that, but I'm happy that you brought it to my attention to know that I stand correct and not wanting to know that.
you made the right move by totally bypassing that thing
Yeah.
altogether.
Yep, didn't even look twice.
That's fair.
How are you? How's it feel to be back?
It feels good.
Yeah.
It was a good. Too quick, but yeah, I happy to be back.
Yeah.
I will tell you, never ever to fly with Air Canada Rouge.
Okay.
That was the first and last time I ever fly with that airline. So if anybody from Air Canada Rouge is listening,
There
to
goes
this
that
podcast,
sponsorship.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Thanks, Dan.
There might be. I'll get to that.
what's
off,
the
I'll get
rouge?
to that off the camera.
What's the rouge for?
I can find that out for you too.
Rouge is the.
What happened to just Air Canada?
Yeah, no, Rouge is the low cost version of Air
Oh,
Canada.
wait. So you took the low cost flight and you're complaining about it?
Yeah.
What?
Yo, let me save a few bucks. And I'll play that.
Yeah.
You can't complain though.
No, and that was
You
that
are
was,
not allowed to complain.
no, that was a mistake on my part, and I definitely paid for it. And legroom,
That's like eating at McDonald's and then being like,
Yo, I should have ate healthier.
Yeah.
No.
legroom was at a premium at best.
Yeah, I've heard.
you got to sit in the emergency exit. That's the play on every flight.
Yeah.
You have to be the willing participant who says, I will save everybody, even though you might in that moment clam up and
Yeah.
not be able to do it.
Yeah. Hell.
But for the extra leg room,
Yeah.
I'm rolling with that.
I know someone that works at Air Canada Rouge, so I find that funny.
Oh.
We actually shouted them out on this podcast
Oh,
before.
crap.
But no, who cares?
All right.
If they're trash, they're trash. That person probably knows they're trash too. I'm not going to name names, but
I'm telling them that as it is.
but she knows it's trash.
Whenever you work for something that you know that it's not good,
Yeah.
you're
You
the
better-
first to know.
You better proudly say that it's
Oh, yeah.
trash. But everything else is good. You're happy to be back.
I'm happy to
on
be back.
camera.
Yeah, it's nice to be back. I actually read something while I was over there that believe it or not, the TTC was the #1 rated subway service in all of
We're talking about that off camera.
all of the world.
Dad, don't hit me with that. We're talking about that off
I'm just
camera.
gonna edit that out.
We're talking about that off camera.
But I read it. It was in the Spanish newspaper.
Yeah, and I'll get to that after off
Okay.
camera.
Okay. And somebody asked me, they're like, "Oh, your subway service is very good." I was like, "Okay." Well, that's what I wanted to tell him.
Like I said, we'll talk about that off camera. We're talking about it. We're not talking about that company right now.
Dan's trying to get to the pressing issues.
Yeah. Well, we've been here for like 2 hours and we could have talked about it then.
Sorry.
Listen, I'm talking about an egg. Dan's talking about the
You guys are
TTC.
trash.
If nobody wants to listen from this point forward, I get it.
Yeah, now I know
I
why.
totally understand why nobody wants to listen to
If
us.
you're looking for the soccer and the footy analysis, push it up to 25 minutes and you'll be good. But like,
if you continue to listen at all, I appreciate it. Actually,
you guys are losers. 10-year challenge. You guys participating in that?
No, absolutely not.
no,
What you guys?
Did you?
I'm not the
guys
social convention type of
The
person.
drip wasn't on 10 years ago.
No.
There was definitely no glow up from 2009 to now.
You got the swag wasn't on point 10 years ago.
2009 would have been what? Would have been. Okay, I know it's 10 years ago.
Yeah. You would have been
Grade 11?
for us. Like 12.
So I would have been 17.
Yeah. The beard game wasn't in, so you guys don't want to show anyone what you guys look like without the beard?
At 17, there was definitely not a beard. There might have been a hint of a poor mustache.
Hey, shout out to that. Okay, fine. I'm just asking if you guys were
Did you do it?
participating. Well, I'm asking. You would have seen it.
So obviously that means no.
Yeah. No. It's bombarding my timeline, and I'm just seeing everyone kind of like go back down memory lane.
What happened to the
Oh.
Flashback Friday?
We got to get that shit the hell out
Is
of
that
here.
not the same thing?
Throwback Thursday. No, get the hell out of here. And
Woman Crush Wednesday or Man
Crush Monday. Yo, I don't know. You know what? Maybe maybe if you were ever a Man Crush Monday or a Woman Crush Wednesday, you'd be like, yeah.
What about Tuesday?
Toonie Tuesday? I don't know.
Oh.
There's probably something, but
I think the Man Crush Monday and the Woman Crush Wednesday was just a way to get your significant other to give you some brownie points.
Hey, nothing wrong with that.
Or shoot your shot.
yeah, definitely shoot your shot and hope
One of
that
the two.
the
It's
person.
reciprocated.
I want to whichever, whatever. Well, I'm not getting into that. That could be a long conversation. But I just want to ask if you guys participated in it.
No, can't say I would.
And then the last thing, since we want to be professional and get into the soccer and footy quickly. I was in the car with my buddy the other day, and we're talking because
That's what you do when you're in the car.
well, yeah. Besides that, thanks.
Dad came back with all the good stuff.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Basically, one of his buddies is a photographer, and I remember going to his party once, and it was probably the greatest party I've been to based on girl to guy ratio.
House party?
Yeah,
Okay.
kind of a condo-ish, but like the amount of girls that were in that condo was like, holy smokes.
It was impressive.
Yeah, I don't know if we had this conversation on the podcast before, but did we ever discuss that the photographer is like the new
We may have mentioned that way back when.
the new DJ / the new promoter?
Yeah.
Like the photographer gets all the girls?
Yeah.
Because I think you get so much more out of it.
Nowadays.
What's the DJ gonna
What do you mean?
get you into the bar?
Have you ever been to the club and you see the DJ and there's just like a bunch of girls around the booth? If I was
But what I'm saying is, I think the photographer, you get more value out of the photographer.
females are trash. Why do you ever date a DJ? What do you get out of that?
You might have to straw pull that one.
Yeah, any girl dating.
Well, you get into
you know what?
You get into your favorite club for free.
Any girl dating a DJ knows what it is.
Maybe
Yep.
he dedicates a song to you.
No, you're trash if that really matters. the promoter could get you in, right? So the promoter has all the girls too, but the photographer now with Instagram glowing up
Yes.
and everyone thinking that they're a model,
Which kudos to you.
Yeah,
If you believe it.
yeah. Well,
You still got to start somewhere.
I mean, if I'm the photographer, I'm selling it.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're good enough.
Yeah. I'll just be like, hey, man, I'm just trying to tell people, like, I'm trying to give people like little hints, like, go pick up a DSLR tomorrow. Go get a GoPro.
For $1,000, you can be your own. You can be your own photographer.
Yeah, for $1,000, your life could change.
You can now be your own boss.
You could do whatever your heart desires and pursue any female. But yeah, that came to mind. I'm stupid.
No, it's definitely a good in.
Yeah, I just thought about that.
If there's anybody who's the age of 15 to 16 that listens to us,
yeah,
and you're struggling a little bit.
Yeah.
Photography is your area.
What do you
Yeah.
mean? Even if you're 20 and up. I was thinking to myself, if all fails here, I'm using my camera.
I've actually always been interested in photography.
We're gonna work on different angles.
The aperture.
Yeah, we're gonna
You don't
master
even know about the aperture. Yeah.
You even have the words to use.
We're gonna master all of it.
See, when you got to be the tech guy behind this, you sort
Yeah.
of start to learn some things.
Fabs knows about the white balance. Damn,
The
white
color
balance.
correction.
Is there anything else that mattered? Super Bowl soon.
Yeah.
Y'all ain't watching it until the Super Bowl, so I understand.
I watched a little bit this
How do we
weekend.
feel about halftime shows?
I don't care.
Does
Like
do you ever care? Does it matter?
No.
Is there somebody that can make you watch the halftime show?
not anymore.
Because I think a lot of people felt that way when like Beyonce did it.
I don't even listen to enough music to know.
Yeah, that's not working for Dan.
I'll be honest.
Dan, do you know who Travis Scott is?
Nope.
I went to his
And
concert.
Do you know who Maroon 5 are?
Maroon 5, I do.
Okay,
Yeah.
so you know half of the
Yeah,
this year's
yeah.
Super Bowl.
But I heard a lot of people didn't want to participate in the Super Bowl halftime show this year
Yeah.
That was
because
the
of
big
Trumpy
issue.
Boy.
Yeah.
Well, because of the NFL in general, not because of Trump. It's more
Well,
so
yeah.
the NFL.
That's what I heard. They were struggling to get the acts together. But normally that used to be in the past. That used to be a popular
Thing to do.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is kind of interesting that they still got an influential rapper.
Well, Travis is huge, so
That's
he'll
what
do
I mean.
whatever, right?
But Maroon 5 is pretty big too, no?
Yeah,
Yeah.
It evens out the demographic.
yeah,
Yeah.
You sort of get the 40-year-old.
Oh, you get the
average,
kids.
Yeah, you get everybody
You get
wrapped into
everyone.
one.
I don't think so anymore because I always felt like those kind of performances are a bit watered down to an extent based on the artist. So like a pop artist could get away with performing there, but like if I'm looking for someone like Travis Scott, I'm not too sure it's gonna be like your typical Travis performance. You know, it'll be
No.
something that you'll see on like Saturday Night Live or
Yeah.
something, which is still dope, but it's not.
He'll probably give us a hook,
Yeah,
and then like I can't imagine him doing that much more.
yeah,
Because realistically, the demographic that watches the NFL
yeah,
intently enough to go pay for those Super Bowl tickets,
yeah.
how many of them really know Travis Scott, like his discography, right?
They made knows new stuff.
I just can't imagine those 40-year-old white males knowing Travis.
No.
Yeah.
Because those tickets are pricey.
Yeah.
Those box seats aren't for the
Yeah.
average us.
Yeah.
Those box seats aren't for us. They're for the business owner who's 50 and all his buddies.
Maybe next year.
I don't know. Hopefully.
Listen, I told
I
you.
don't know how many of those guys listen to Travis, is what I'm saying.
Air Canada Rouge will fly us there.
Do they even fly that way?
Yeah.
Probably not.
Yeah. I'll figure that
We're
out.
gonna Harrell's going to give us the deep
I'll give you
dive.
the
Yeah,
deep dive
exactly.
on everything that everywhere you went wrong in terms of flying to your destination. Anything else? Raptors are doing good. Leafs are doing good.
Yeah.
Who is it more important to have a deep playoff run?
I'll answer that. For the city?
For
Or
the
for-
city, for the franchise?
Well, for the city, I think it's the Leafs because everybody here and their mothers are Leaf fans, except for maybe the three of us sitting on this couch.
I am.
Oh,
He
I'm
is.
sorry. So the two of us
Yeah. That's
sitting
trash.
close. But I think that a deep playoff run for
The
the Leafs
Raptors.
will probably be more influential in the city than the Raptors. I just think there's more Leaf fans than Raptors fans.
But for
in
the
general.
franchise,
So for
Oh,
franchise,
for the
me,
franchise,
for the Raptors.
right
the
now
Raptors.
it's the Raptors.
Yeah, it's the Raptors.
Because now it's kind of like it's dual. It's now or never.
Yeah.
Realistically.
Because Kawhi, I don't think is staying.
So that's a common consensus we've come to that.
Yeah, because I think the Leafs.
Like, let's say, what are we going to call it? 70-30 that he stays? 70 that he goes, 30 that he stays? Or is it less than that?
Well, everyone's thinking. A lot of people are starting to feel that he may stay because they have the best record, but I don't think that really matters.
No, I think it's about money.
Well, would they not? Can't they give him a max deal? Or is that not
Well,
something?
everyone
that's-
can, but I don't think
Yeah.
he cares about money because I think he could have got the best money in San Antonio. But I think it's just about where he wants to live, and I think it's a lot about the people that are behind it and who's backing him. Right? I feel like his uncle and the family members that represent him have a huge say in where he wants to go.
Well, now he's got that nice little New Balance deal.
Yeah.
Like, you don't think that maybe he can be a little more comfortable here?
Look, the way things are going, I don't see why he wouldn't want to stay. But I can, like, to Dan's point, I can understand why a lot of people feel that he won't
Yeah.
be there because there was always the thing that he wanted to be in LA, and he has right now he could pick either or, and they're both going to be pretty darn good.
The funny thing is that he doesn't strike me as an LA kind of guy.
Yeah,
Like he's very laid back. He doesn't really speak to the media that much. LA seems like just like a hustle and bustle city where he can just kind of be him.
and
You know,
cold.
Yeah, that's the kind of well, yeah.
Realistically, how much time does he spend here throughout the cold winter months?
Enough.
Yeah. During the season.
I mean, Texas, Toronto, LA.
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
Does Kawhi look like the type of guy who likes to be in shorts?
I don't want to know what type of guy Kawhi wants to be and if he wants to be in short. I don't care.
All I know is he's not laughing very much.
I got a good story about Norm I can tell you guys off the air too.
Okay. I want to hear that.
Norman Powell?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, we're into that. I
right.
want to hear that right after
This
this.
is an off-air story. All right.
Yeah, I don't want to
No,
throw
yeah.
anybody's dirt out there.
Yeah.
No.
No way.
Yeah.
No.
Yo, no. Yo, Norm. If you're listening to this, it's got the dirt.
Maybe he's a big United fan and he's waiting to hear what we got to say.
When we blow up, Norm, it's that guy. To the left of me.
Wait, are you afraid of that at all?
What?
Like, let's say this actually somehow gets somewhere,
Yeah.
and then you got to deal with Michael Bradley emailing you.
Hey, listen.
Yo,
leave
man.
Michael
That's
Brad-
crazy.
Leave Michael Bradley out of
if
this.
Michael-
That's crazy.
Okay,
Look,
okay.
Dan's scared already.
Yeah.
Dan's already scared.
You know what? He's the captain.
Look, when
He can do what he wants.
Look,
He's
what-
gonna get his season tickets revoked.
When that does matter to you. When
Me and Inebriati, we're sitting outside the stadium.
when this TFC season starts, and we got a lot to say about them, I will personally give Michael Bradley. I'll look at the camera. I'll personally give Michael Bradley my email, and he can direct whatever the hell he wants to direct to me. But it ain't gonna change what I'm gonna say on the camera, Michael. And you know how I feel about you defending number 10s, and you know how I feel about you protecting the back four, and you're gonna hear a lot about it on a week-to-week basis. So we'll leave it
I
there.
wonder if that was more about his dad than it seemed to be more about
Yeah.
his father than him.
Yeah.
But I just found it interesting how some of those journalists
But
sort of backed off
hey,
from
man,
that conversation.
can I say?
So
that?
there
I'm gonna
must
say
be
this.
some truth to it.
Hey, Michael could get away with that stuff with John and Kurt.
Yeah, I guess.
If we're gonna be real. Huh? Yeah.
Well, at the end of the day, they're in a position where the athlete dictates what's said about them.
Yeah.
Their livelihood.
If that athlete goes to whoever media PR representative
Yeah.
that is the head of that
Yeah.
and says, I don't want to talk to this guy ever. I don't want him in our dressing room.
That's
Okay.
fair. Don't worry, Michael. I don't ever want to be in your dressing room. And we don't ever have to have a real conversation.
No.
And we don't have a media PR team, so you can't really tell. I'm the media PR.
That guy, Dad.
Oh, crap.
Dad is not the media PR. I'm the media PR team here, so we can talk. Any way you got to put it, we're going to have to talk.
I just thought that was crazy, but
Yeah, and that's funny because I feel like who's really talking about TFC that much for him not to see what we're going to have to say?
yeah.
Dad.
Well, all their beat writers are gone now.
Yeah.
So who's left to write stuff?
Just John.
That's how Michael likes it.
Yeah.
Hey, shout out to Michael. Shout out to TFC. We're going to get to you soon.
I think, today was the first day of
They-
spring training camp?
Yeah,
Something along those
they're at they went to wherever.
So when's that Champions League thing start?
February
Okay,
something.
that's all I need to know.
Oh, great. We got a month,
We can
Michael.
move on.
We'll see you soon. Anyways, you guys
We
been
can move
talking.
on.
You guys want to do small talk. You haven't talked for so long. With that being said, shout out to all the YouTube subscribers. Shout out to all the guys on Facebook. We haven't posted much lately because of me, but we're going to get back to that. We got back to that tonight. So check out for that. Shout out to everyone on Instagram. Shout out to everyone on Twitter. Shout out to all the kids going back to school. I'm very happy that you're there. Shout out to everyone working hard, independent men, independent women. Shout out to everyone that's being real in 2019. Shout out to everyone that's supporting us. Shout out to everyone who hasn't heard us and is about to hear us. Shout out to the Clip Draw gang. I don't know what you're doing, but that's important. Shout out to all the Toronto podcasts. Shout out to all the Toronto soccer podcasts. A lot of people think that I don't care what people think. We just want to let you guys know that this is the best soccer/footy podcast in the world, the best soccer/footy podcast in Toronto, whether people like it or not. And this is the best Toronto podcast. Like I said, Dan didn't hear anything. Fabs hasn't heard anything. Laura didn't hear anything. Laura, we're checking up on her every week to find out if she's heard any Toronto
She's
podcasts.
gonna be emailing us.
She's got time. She's got time.
She got lots.
Yeah, she got lots of time. So she should check out for that. But until anyone says anything, we are the best. And with that being said, we got a lot of stuff to break down this weekend. I don't think I forgot anything.
I was gonna say you don't want to shout out your Toronto artists.
Oh yeah,
With good friends and good production?
Man, Fabs, yeah. We shout out to him because honestly, and then we listened to the EP. Well, I listened to it. You know, everyone else.
I caught one track.
Fabs caught one
I was
track,
pretty impressed, to be honest.
and Fabs was feeling it. We enjoy it, Matthias. I think that is your name. I'll play it. Shout out to Matthias Hayes. We love the EP. We should have played it at the start of the podcast. We may play it at the start of the next podcast. Are we going to be doing that? Are we going to play local Toronto music?
Hey, if you give me the rights, if I'm allowed to.
If you give us the rights, we'll play your stuff, because especially if we like it. And I love the intro. I'm a big intro guy. So shout out to you. Keep doing your thing. Love the EP. And we thank you for your support. And with that being said, we had to shout out to Fabs for remembering that. With that being said, we got a lot of stuff to break down this weekend, and I think we're going to start in England. So with that being said, Fabs, you know what time it is. It's InnerViews Podcast, episode number 53. We talked about small talk way too long, but it's time to get down into our shit. Guys, I already know where we're going.
We all know where we're going.
I got the jet ready.
We're back at it again.
We're Dan's favorite two teams. We're going to Wembley.
He couldn't escape it. He couldn't escape it this week. No.
You left, and we still hit you with it. And now you came back, and guess who we're talking about first? We're not even talking about the two teams at the top. We're talking about 6th and 3rd.
Watching him squirm is so fun.
We're talking about 6th and 3rd.
Who'd have thunk it?
Who would have thunk it? Guys, I don't know if I want to start this. I don't know if I want to start it. So if any of you guys want to like really jump in and tell and share with how you feel about United going to Wembley, that Ollie drip, 6 for 6, I think, in the league.
Yep.
Or 6 for 6 in total. I don't care.
Yeah.
He hasn't lost yet. The drip is here. They're like 3 points back at Arsenal.
No, they're tied.
They're level on Arsenal. They're like 6 points back
of
Chelsea.
Of Chelsea.
Yeah.
And if Chelsea loses this weekend and they win, then it's getting really spicy. And I like to let people know, because apparently on social media it seems like I hate United, but I've been here caping for them. I'm going to say this every single week.
He has.
Yeah, you have.
And they're making it very compelling. And that's all I ever asked. Or that's all I ever thought. But it's still too early. We're not going to, get into that yet.
But I think we do need to potentially start to give him a little bit of credit. Whatever change has happened now, whether we break it down and we say tactically or it's just been a difference in the locker room, something has happened.
Mm-hmm.
I think, yes, I'm not going to take what they did against Cardiff and the other bums as anything, but the fact that they were able to not only beat Spurs, but also keep a clean sheet. Coming off the back of a lot of people, the whole season, the discussion has been that they can't keep goals out of the net.
Wow.
Defensively, there's all kinds of issues. Yeah, I know De Gea had an incredible game, but De Gea has been doing this for seasons now. He is part of the lineup, regardless of if we like it or not. Lloris had some quality saves too. Let's not deny that.
Mm-hmm.
But I think I'll be the first to say that they are surprising me a little bit, to be quite honest with you. And I know it's a 1-game sample size against Spurs because the other games didn't really matter all that much. But there's definitely a change.
But
I think that's undeniable at this point. That something mentally, psychologically has clicked.
I know where Dan is going with this. Go, Dan.
You can see that they're playing just with that freedom. All of them.
I was not expecting that.
I mean, the obvious one is Pogba, but I think the rest of the team have not that pressure. And I don't know if it was Mourinho who put the pressure on them, or if it was Mourinho himself and all the saga going on with other players. But you can tell that the players are a little bit more at ease on the field, and it shows. Like I said, Pogba for one, Rashford is another guy that you can see that he's playing with just that confidence. And he took his goal really well. Pogba was a great pass, and Rashford clinical on that finish. If we're really going to be hard on United, I don't think they particularly played well in the second half. And I think they let Tottenham come at them. And if it wasn't for De Gea, they could have easily been down 2-1 in that second half. And Tottenham should have been a lot more clinical in that second half. If we're being really critical on United. That's the first half they played very well. Second half, not so much.
So Ollie set them up really well. And basically, he had them in that little diamond. He basically went toe-to-toe with them. And it made sense. Spurs haven't been playing well. We saw in the Carabao Cup, they probably should have lost against Chelsea. And they got away with that. Phantom call or not, they got away with it. And they, like I said, probably should have lost against a side that doesn't really have any really much of a strike force. And they go into this match, and I know that the consensus is that United, outplayed Spurs in the first half. And it was kind of a tale of two halves. They kind of edged it. I mean, Spurs didn't do themselves any favors. The way the United set up, they have Rashford, they have Martial running into that space that is completely open. And I thought Pochettino would have changed it. And even when Sissoko came off, I thought he possibly should have went to a back three. And he didn't do that. And then he did change it at halftime. And they did play better. I get where both of you are going. I get where you're saying that we got to give them a bit of credit. Last week I said that, they could shut me up for a week if they get the job done. And I said that they could do that unless they win and they scrape it out. And that's what I said last week. And I made sure I looked over it to make sure that I said that. Unless they scrape it out. Or I said unless we see a phantom Pogba penalty. And I think they scraped it out. We give them credit because no one weeks ago would expect that. Although even with Mourinho, they were able to beat Spurs at Wembley and at home. So that's not much of a surprise. But given how poor they were this season, I can understand why this is such a big result for them. And we've said that they need to beat a team that could both attack and defend simultaneously at the same time. So I get that. But someone's got to kind of, stick with the tune. And none of you want to stick with the tune. Yeah.
My tune hasn't changed. I still don't think they're top four. I'm still sticking to that. I just think that he gets a little bit of credit.
Yeah.
That's just it.
Yeah, he gets credit for...
We can't continue to deny it week after week.
No. I think he deserves some credit. Absolutely, he does. But I think if you look at that performance as a whole, first half was good. Second half left a lot to be desired. And if Tottenham were more clinical, they would have won that match. If it wasn't for De Gea, Tottenham would have won that match solely based on that second half performance. And look, let's be honest, De Gea made 6 or 7 incredible saves.
I'm a pause you. I don't know if they were all incredible.
Okay, they were
saved. I'm gonna go
with saves that he has to make.
Saves, especially coming from you, that kills goalkeepers. Those are saves that he should make.
Okay.
The only one that I was like, oh, okay, whoa, I gotta chill, was the Alderweireld one.
The header?
Yeah.
Off the corner?
Yeah, from the near post, and it's just a reaction, and then I'm pretty sure it was a kick save.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay.
There was 3 or 4 of them with his feet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we do gotta kind of give him credit there, because not a lot of keepers,
I think
a lot of keepers would go through their legs.
His positioning is incredible, though.
Yeah.
Because he's putting himself in a position where these saves are making, they look fairly routine.
Yeah.
Right.
Like if some of those go in, you're really not. If one of them squeaks through his legs,
yeah,
you can't fault him at that point.
I think that save and the Kane one at the end, where the long ball went into Llorente and then he got across 2 center backs. Yeah. I thought those were the 2 standout saves. But the one where Kane breaks in on the right, he should do better.
Ali should do better.
Ali should do better.
The Ali header, the Ali shot was right at him at a length where that he should save it. Perfect range for a goalkeeper. Mm-hmm. So I look at that, and like I said, Solskjaer got it right in the first half. And Spurs are narrow. You play out to the flanks. They don't have a back three, so if Dyer's there, they have players that can push out. Davies is pushing forward, and you saw in the second half, Davies sat back after.
Well, losing Sissoko was huge too.
But even losing Sissoko, you would think that's why I said he probably should have moved to a back three, because then you have that protection, and then you could push the wing backs forward. But you brought on 2 attacking players as your shuttlers, and you have Lamela a bit higher, and it's just like, okay.
He was very disappointing.
Lamela?
Yeah. Not that he's had a great 2 or 3 seasons at Tottenham, but for me he was very disappointing.
He was a part of it. He was in it in the second half. I was gonna go more to Trippier and say that I thought he was disappointing, and I thought he made the mistake for the goal, but that wasn't the first time that he got caught out. And
I think there was a few Spurs players that weren't at their best.
Ericsson.
I was gonna say Ericsson. Even Ali, other than those opportunities, he sort of drifted in and out of the game.
Yeah.
But you want to know where this kind of leads me to? And this was my question that I had for Dan earlier on. I don't want to get into that conversation, but I said that they have a ceiling, and they look tired. They look tired, and now the injury bug is still going, and they're offloading Dembele, and I don't know if they're going to bring anyone in. And
they're losing Son to the
They're
China
losing
game.
Son. We don't know the extent of Kane, and even if Kane is fit, he looks tired.
Yeah,
he looks dead.
Yeah, and they're talking. I mean, right now, from what I've read, they're talking possibly a month.
And you see, that wouldn't be an issue if Son wasn't going, because they've been able to get away with it.
Right.
They could still play Ali. They could still play Ali there, or Lucas. Like, they still have options. But my biggest issue is the midfield, because Dyer isn't back. Sissoko's gone, and that was one of my big things with United is that Spurs were dominating that second half, and they had Ericsson and Winks as their central midfield.
Mm-hmm.
At one point, it was Ericsson and Ali, and they couldn't really. They mustered up like a few chances where Pogba was breaking forward, but besides that, they
were
weren't
pegged back.
There was no control, nothing, and that's why I'm saying that there's. I know the first half was great. And I think some of that is down to Pochettino not reacting to the game when he should have. And I just think that obviously there are steps that they need to make. But, I'll give them their credit. I'll give them their credit there. But I don't know, man. I'm left with mixed emotions about the entire game, because I felt that, yes, United got it right, but Spurs Pochettino really presented it to them. Yes, he could have been shocked, but yes, he could have turned things around faster.
So in your eyes, did Spurs lose the game, or did United win the game?
I think a lot of it goes down to Spurs losing the game. And that's not even I don't want to say that to discredit United, but I thought that, okay, you got shell shocked. They're playing a diamond. But 10 to 15 minutes in, how many times? There were a few times where Rashford broke in, where Martial broke in, and Pogba broke in, and you're kind of thinking, okay, well, I should probably change something.
I actually thought I thought Spurs were a little bit too open in that first half. And I thought they gave them, like you said, they had a number of counterattacks. I'm actually surprised that Pochettino set them up that way. I thought he would have liked to get a little bit of control early on. Kind of, I don't want to say kill the game, but I thought the pace would be a little bit slower to start. But it was very open for the first, 30 some odd minutes. It was more of an open match than I kind of expected it to be between these two teams. And I think that kind of favored more United than it did Spurs.
Well, they're both teams that love to play in transition, though.
Mm-hmm.
Because other than Ericsson, who in that Spurs midfield can control a game?
That's the problem. They would want to have the overload, but then it was 4v4 in midfield,
mm-hmm.
so no one really could gain control. But when you have the two fullbacks pushing forward and no cover, and you got Rashford and Martial positioned in those spaces, then you have an issue. And you as a manager need to change that. And it took him to the second half to change it. And he even had a chance when Sissoko came off. And he had Sissoko doing it on one side for Trippier, and that's been a template for them over the past few weeks. But on the left side, you got Ericsson push forward, you have Davies push forward, and they have Rashford sitting there. So that's why when I watched the game after, and people are, praising this Pogba ball, I'm like, yeah, it's a nice. I can't.
It's a nice ball.
Yeah.
It was a nice ball.
But I expect that from Paul, and there was a lot of space for him to really put that ball into, because there was no cover.
Mm-hmm.
To be fair, that's a ball that he should.
Yeah. That's just that's just about Rashford getting there before Vertonghen, which he's gonna do.
Yep.
But if they have a back three, then Dyer's in the middle, and he's not pushed up as far as Winks, and Vertonghen's already there. So there's a good chance that 1v1 doesn't happen that way. And even if it does happen that way, you have Dyer that could shift over while they recover. And if they don't do that, then you have Davies sitting deeper.
A little bit deeper.
So then that never happens.
Yeah.
So that's on Pochettino. So that's how I feel. And then when you get to the second half, when he did change it and they were creating the chances, a lot of it I blame down to the players.
Yeah.
And De Gea's brilliance. It goes hand in hand. I'm not going to totally say, oh, well, it's their fault, because De Gea deserves some credit too.
Absolutely, he does. But that's to my point. That second half, if Tottenham are more clinical, look, there are 3 or 4 clear-cut chances that they should be scoring. I don't care how great De Gea is playing. You have to finish those chances, and if you want to finish in the top 4, you got to take those chances. You have to finish those chances, and we'll go one step further. If you want to make a deep Champions League run, you can't miss those chances that you did against United, because as a team in the Champions League that are, and many of them are better than United, they will punish you.
There's not a chance in hell either of these teams make a deep Champions League run.
No, I don't.
No way.
I don't believe that either. But I'm just saying, if you're in the Champions League and you have those,
don't say it.
No, I'll say
you have those chances. You have to finish those chances against quality opponents.
For sure.
And to Tyrell's point, I think this is not so much United winning, but Tottenham losing.
You're not saying you don't have any faith in United beating PSG?
That's your boys. You better hope you don't go against your boys.
No, but look, they could be my boys, but I could be reasonable and say that I watched PSG against Guingamp. Okay? Like, PSG, you can't really trust them either.
I trust them a hell of a lot more than United, personally.
Okay, that's fair. I'm just
because at this point, what I expect from both sides.
I'm just posing the question.
It's time for PSG.
Yeah.
There will be little to no excuse if they don't win that matchup.
Okay.
There is no excuse. Zero.
So you don't think Ali could pull a Di Matteo?
Can he? Anything can happen. Do I believe it? No, I don't.
Okay,
I truthfully can't.
That's fair. PSG is my squad, so
because I don't want to see
my squad, but
I don't want to see Matic chase Neymar around for 180 minutes and think that Neymar is not going to get the best out of that.
Or Herrera.
This whole Lindelof rebrand, that's not going to last forever.
That's ending.
Phil Jones.
He hasn't played against the Cavani yet. Sorry, Harry Kane. You can be very great, and I rate you highly, but you still have some things to
work on.
To craft. You still have to master your craft.
A lot of people are having the Rashford rebrand.
That's what I read a tweet that somebody said that Marcus Rashford can be better than Kane. Do we believe that?
Because they were comparing how many goals Kane had at this point of his career, at Rashford's point of his career, to how many goals Rashford has.
Are we having that?
No.
Okay. I'm glad I'm not the only one that thought so.
No. Well, obviously there's a possibility because the ceiling and whatnot, but no, we're not going to live in the moment. And from what we're seeing, no.
I think if you want to talk about crafting your game, I think Rashford still has a long way to go to craft his. I look, I rate Harry quite highly, but I still, to Fabs' point, I think he still has a long way to go to be in that upper echelon of world-class strikers.
Yeah.
But has he performed well for his club and his country over the last 2 years? Maybe,
2 to 3.
2 to 3. He has, but there's still that next level that he has to reach to be considered among the best strikers.
Yeah, and I'm fine. But you know how it goes. There's a certain group of people that solely watch one league, so they only know Harry Kane. And Harry Kane's put in that conversation a lot as, one of the, top
strikers in the world.
Yeah.
I think you have to consider him.
That's fair. I don't know.
I compare him to Cavani because I put Cavani up there.
Yeah.
Based on his
Yeah.
repertoire, what he's done, his ability.
Yeah.
And I don't think Kane's that far off of a Cavani.
No, he's not.
No.
I think
He's
Kane
outside
is,
of the top 3.
of the top 3, yeah.
He's outside of the top 3.
You could probably make an argument for maybe top 5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or he's flirting. He's flirting with it.
Yeah.
Well, I asked that question because that leads to another question, which led to my rant yesterday, which led to, I don't know why you guys have to do this. I'm not specifically speaking about you.
Okay.
No. Okay.
But I don't know why one game totally leads to a narrative that, fits whoever supports that team at the time. Or not even that, because they're neutral saying the same thing. And the reason why I have a problem with this is because I think it's unfair to the other goalkeepers that perform well on a week-to-week basis. And just because these people don't watch those goalkeepers on a week-to-week basis, they don't really know what they're doing. And it's crazy because I think that there's another goalkeeper in the league that has been performing better than
De Gea is not, if you're going to say De Gea is not the best goalkeeper in the league right now.
Okay, well, after yesterday, social media took to a storm, and they were, giving him the belt
I'll stand here and say I disagree with both of you guys.
the undisputed best goalkeeper in the world.
I will take De Gea over Alisson and Ederson.
Okay, well, Ederson's not in the conversation.
Maybe he might not be as good of a passer with his feet. He might not do what the wild shit that Alisson does, but I will take David De Gea every day over Alisson.
But I think I was more. That wasn't
nothing to do with the feet.
That wasn't where I was
positionally
going.
As a shot stopper with his mind in the game too, because to me that counts a lot. You don't see him make very many mistakes. I watch Alisson on a week-to-week basis. I watch him make a ton of mistakes, shit that he just doesn't get caught on.
That's not a mistake.
No, he gets bailed. You haven't seen half of them.
I was actually going down the road of De Gea this year is not the best goalkeeper in the EPL.
I'll still take him.
Statistically, Alisson trumps him in every.
Yeah, he's got like 13 clean sheets.
Every significant, but even in terms of saves,
and
in terms of goals that goals that prevent other sides from winning games and from taking points, he trumps him.
I'm still taking what David De Gea has done for United over the last X amount of years.
No, but I'm just talking about
that puts him ahead
this season.
For me, I'm still taking him.
In terms of what he's produced this year, I think this year has been his poorest year at United.
Sure, all of United has been shit this year.
Yeah,
that's unfair to compare him to a team who's defensively the best team in the league. That's a little unfair to do.
But that goes to my point: is that he can't be great a few days ago or yesterday.
No, I think he's still good. He's still great.
No, but he can't be great. He can't be the best goalkeeper yesterday with that same defense. But when it's not working for him and that same defense is in front of him, it's the defense, because the same defense was in front of him yesterday.
It doesn't help him. That still doesn't. If you were to swap roles, it would be any different. If you were to put Alisson in United squad, would it be any different? That totally skews the numbers. That would skew the numbers. Would it not?
I could look to Roma last year.
He didn't propel them to any greatness.
They would not be where they made it to the Champions League semifinal.
Yeah, okay. He made one crazy save against Shakhtar. I remember that. I was like, holy shit! I don't know how he made that save.
And Roma should have never finished where they finished last year if it wasn't for him.
It wasn't solely based on him. That was a whole thing.
I don't know.
Listen,
because
they replaced Roma's leaking goals like crazy.
Because they replaced them with a pretty decent goalkeeper in Olsen, and
Olsen's okay. Olsen is nowhere. Olsen's not in the top 5 in that league.
But that's my point. Is that they replaced him and look at the drop off.
And then if you take Sergio Romero and put him in net, and what do you think is going to happen against Spurs? That's the equivalent. Sergio Romero is almost the equivalent.
Olsen's better. Olsen's much better than Sergio Romero.
Not by a huge stretch.
I would like to say that he's better than by a huge
not by a huge stretch.
I'd like to say he's better than by quite a distance.
My point still stands. When you take a top 3 goalie in the world and you replace him with somebody who's not on that level, you're gonna start leaking goals. the reality of your defense is now going to take shape.
I don't think Olsen is that far off.
I still think that
From
if
the
you
elite.
swap Alisson and put him on United, and you put David De Gea and you put him on Liverpool, that David De Gea would have the exact same or better numbers.
We're gonna pull up some Roma games from last season.
Go right ahead.
Put it on, right
Put
on that TV.
right on there.
You're more than welcome. I watched Roma in the back half of the season.
You see, he was a huge difference maker and all of that.
And I'm not denying that.
But that goes to my point is that I could make a very good case that Alisson has been better than De Gea for 18 to 24 months.
You can make that case. It's not going to change my mind.
So how long could you be inferior to another goalkeeper and still be the best goalkeeper in the world?
But you're
2 years, 2 seasons isn't enough?
My point stands as if you were to swap them, you would not see a difference.
Based on what we've seen from De Gea this season, De Gea plays for Spain. And he makes mistakes on a game-to-game basis.
Alisson plays for Brazil and makes mistakes on it. Okay. Go back and watch. Watch how many mistakes he really makes.
Nope. And I'm
He's
talking
got one of the best central defenders in front of him right now.
And when
in the whole world.
And when I'm talking about Ramos and Piqué are no slouches.
Okay.
And he's in the
not gonna change my mind.
And he makes some bad mistakes. And when I mean mistakes, I mean game-defining mistakes. Like goal-defining mistakes.
It's not going to change my mind.
You know? That's fine. It doesn't have to change your mind. But when we have the statistics there that actually matter, I'm not looking at clean sheets or...
And last season, go look at the Opta stats that said for every X amount of goals that all the other goalies made, David De Gea made like 10 to 12 saves.
Alisson's was still higher.
Not last year. No chance.
Yeah.
Go look at those
Alisson's
Opta stats.
I
remember retweeting that at one point, that he had the highest average off the Opta stats based off the saves that he was making. Based off the saves, the shot attempts that he was facing on net, he should have made like 60.
This season,
I'm saying last season.
Okay, last season,
That's what I was talking about.
Last season, Alisson conceded 28 league goals last season. 28 for Roma with Costa, Manolas, and who's their center back?
You're also talking about a different quality of teams that you're facing on a week-to-week basis.
Costa, Manolas.
We've not denied that week in and week out here.
Yeah, Fazio. But based on Ops to XG data for the shots on target he faced, the average goalkeeper would have been expected to concede 36 goals. That was the biggest differential by a Serie A goalkeeper in 2017.
Okay, that's fine.
And in the Premier League, it's the same thing this season.
I'm not denying.
So that's consistency with two different backlines.
I'm not denying this season.
Moving to a different league.
Last season it was De Gea
De Gea's been bad. Premier League. De Gea's been bad for all of. He's been pretty average for all of 2018.
But he had the higher Opta stats in the Premier League. The same stats that you're using to defend Alisson.
That is an indictment on the league.
Okay.
That is an indictment on the league.
That's just awesome. I found that funny.
That's an indictment on the league.
Okay.
And I don't know if De Gea is better than Oblak.
I think Oblak's one of the top three best goalies in the league.
But I don't think he's better than him
in the world. Sorry.
And he's
somebody that gets overlooked by everybody.
And De Gea makes the same. If De Gea has made the same amount of mistakes, if not more, in 2018 than Ter Stegen.
So go look at all the highlight footage and compile how many what you consider a mistake.
I'm just saying
Alisson coming out to the past the 20-yard box and clearing a ball that he almost mishits is a mistake to me. Okay, even though he saves himself because athletically he can, David De Gea doesn't put himself in those positions, which I think is important. But that's something maybe I overlooked that somebody else doesn't.
Did you play keeper as a kid?
No, I didn't.
I don't think that's not that significant. As long as you're not put in that situation where it does lead to a goal, you're fine.
I think the moniker of the goalie has changed now, and people are expecting a lot out of a goalie.
Well, no. Well, if De Gea's not good with his feet, he's not going to move 20. He's not going to go 20 yards out.
I personally don't want my keeper outside the 18-yard box.
But I'm just saying.
So you're old school in that terms.
I want my goalie to stop the shots.
So you don't care if. And I agree with you.
But Alisson's been a better shot stopper than for over two years. So how many years are we going to give him a pass
Not
for?
last season in the Prem. In the Serie A, okay.
He's been a better shot stopper than him for 2 years.
But not in the Prem.
2 years.
The Prem stats showed David De Gea.
2 years. And then
those same Opta stats.
And then one average, because they're both average sides, Roma and Manchester United. And both of those goalkeepers are both significant to both significant to their teams.
Yeah, undisputably, of course.
And one was much farther than the other. Roma's should not be going farther than Champions League than Manchester United.
And United should have placed second last year in the Prem.
Well,
He put them in second. We can't really deny that. How many games did he steal for them last season? We're going to completely overlook that.
Well,
they're in sixth this season.
I could say the same thing for Roma finishing third, and that's
they're
because
in sixth this season.
And that's because Napoli had a historic run, and Juve were great.
They're in sixth this season. Everybody's killing them on a week-to-week basis, and last year they finished second. In a time where he stole countless goals.
Chelsea were awful. Arsenal were awful. Spurs were awful.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Liverpool were 20 points worse than they were last season.
Okay.
It goes both ways. I'm just saying that one goalkeeper can't be better than another goalkeeper for 18 to 24 months and not be considered better than the other.
For me, I'm taking David De Gea every day of the week.
And based on and if you're basing it off this season, David De Gea has besides this one game has not put himself in any glory. And he's not made the amount of saves that elite shot stoppers should make.
Okay.
He has the same amount of clean sheets as Joe Hart, who is playing in front of probably the second worst defense in the league in Burnley.
You know what's funny this week? One of these guys is going to just let in a howler.
That's fine.
That's exactly what's going to happen.
That's totally fine.
Oh, and I'm going to rip him.
That's waiting for that. That's totally fine. But I'm not going to sit here and off one game.
I'm not going off one game.
Totally propel the important stats that define who is a better goalkeeper than the other. Because stats do matter in some.
That's fine.
In a certain regard. And if we ignore those stats, then what's the point? The eye test doesn't tell me much. It does help to a certain degree, but it's not the whole story. But we put some pity on De Gea because Phil Jones and Smalling and Lindelof are in front of him, and because Mourinho was there. But I look at the same goalkeeper that plays for Spain, and one of the reasons why Spain there are a lot of reasons why Spain haven't been doing well, but he has definitely been one of the key reasons that his performance level, when he plays in front of when a better defense plays in front of him, he ain't doing much either. His 2018 has been terrible. So that one game isn't going to change anything.
Brazil didn't propel themselves much further.
I'm not gonna kill Alisson for an own goal and Kevin De Bruyne firing a shot from no one's saving that Kevin De Bruyne shot. So I'm not gonna kill him for that. I'm not gonna kill him for the own goal.
But you're making it seem like he's gonna make that much of a difference is what your point is coming across.
There's some of those goals that De Gea has let in throughout his Spanish career. Yeah.
Okay.
A lot of near posts. A lot of howlers. Can't go both ways for him.
Hey, it doesn't change my opinion.
That's cool. I'm not here, but the stats show who's been the better goalkeeper. And a lot of people that, and I'm not including you in this, but a lot of people that are saying De Gea is undoubtedly because Alisson had one good season, didn't watch him in Serie A last season. So that's a bit unfair. There's been no drop off from last season and this season, where there has been a drop off from De Gea last season or 2 seasons ago to what he is now. So that's why when I was kind of hoping that Ali and them could actually hit the right part of the net.
I mean, should have.
There's too many shots right at him.
No, I'm not going to go that route. But I just want to know what is the time span between when we get to dethrone someone off. Because for the players, it's 6 months or to a year. If Messi has an off year, then everything kind of changes.
Depends who you're talking to.
Well, the funny thing is that staying on goalkeepers, there was a lot of, I don't want to say bad press, but there was a lot of heat on Lloris for letting that goal in, that Rashford goal. And if you're talking about top quality goalies, and I think De Gea makes that save, and I think Alisson makes that save, and I think Emerson makes that save on Rashford. Is it time for Tottenham to move away from Lloris? I know he makes that great save. That he makes a good save on Pogba. Yeah, that's fine. But let's be honest. Should he have saved that first goal? And does those other three keepers, and we can include Ter Stegen and Oblak if you want. Do they make that save? Do they keep their team in it? And should Lloris or should Tottenham think about moving away from Lloris?
You guys know my feelings about him.
I don't know. That's.
I think that might be a little harsh on him.
Yeah.
Personally, but I've just never been a fan of his as a keeper. Never.
Oh, yeah, he had a nice little run around 2015, 2016.
I don't know what it is about him, but I don't trust him personally.
But everything kind of went downhill after that Euro final. And he hasn't really recovered from that. I just don't know who they bring in to really change that, right? They would really have to look abroad and find someone before someone else finds that person.
Mm-hmm.
That's the thing, right? Because I don't think they're going to find anyone in the league right now that's going to really change that, right?
That's a position that's proving that if you don't have top dollar,
yeah,
you're not getting that talent.
Yeah. You know, because...
And do you see Spurs aren't willing to spend X amount of dollars on a striker, a midfielder, or a defender? You're not going to go spend 80 on a goalie.
Yeah.
So that's another question. If Harry Kane is gone, let's say for 1 month, do you see Tottenham just going with what they have and hoping that what they have gets them by? Or do you see them going out in the January transfer window and trying to find another striker?
Unless they can get somebody for $9 million for what they sold Dembele for, then I don't think they're going to get anybody. They have no track record that really shows me they're going to bring in anybody at this point.
Yo, Fabs is stupid. They're sticking with Vorm or the other guy that I'm not going to name because his name is Wild. So that's
the
how
Argentinian guy.
That's how I feel about that because you got to look at it because City spent a bit for Ederson, not as much as Liverpool spent for Alisson or even Chelsea spent for Kepa. Yeah. Who, you know what? Thank God that Alisson was bought because Kepa's kind of went under the radar, but he hasn't had that bad of a season. There hasn't been much pressure on him based on the fact that Alisson had come in. I just want to throw that in there because I feel like he kind of goes under. Even if he makes mistakes, it's beneficial to him because the press isn't just worried about his transfer fee.
Yeah.
So that's big for him. But I don't know if Spurs can really afford to do that. I think Lloris is fine given what they are. Obviously, if they want to be a title contender, I mean, you can't only look at Lloris. They got to look at like Fab said, every other area that they need to upgrade in.
Yeah.
Right?
I think that's the last of their concerns.
You would think that they need to get some controllers in midfield, especially. Yeah, they definitely need some controllers in midfield. The front four is okay, but you would like to think they want a replacement for Kane. And, you know, the defense, they could find some, and they can improve in certain areas. So it's kind of tough for them, right? Unless Levy wants to really break the bank.
But how long are they going to live in the shadows of everybody else, though? I feel like this might be like a turning point type of off-season / end of the season. Because if they go into the off-season with a whimper, they slowly move away from the top two, they somehow just sneak a third place finish, and then there's more rumors of Kane leaving, there's rumors of Pochettino leaving. I think we could see things go really south this summer for Spurs. If Levy doesn't say, hey, I'm pumping X amount of dollars into this team, and he really grabs reins of this, he could lose this whole project.
Well, this whole project, I think, has always been... I always feel like they've overachieved with this project. And that's one of the things that we have to look back to what Spurs were before Poch came in. They finished in the top four once with Redknapp when Bale went on that crazy little run. But they've always been in that mold. And I don't know, like, I'd have to talk to a Spurs fan that I know regarding whether they're waiting on spending money until after the stadium opens. I don't know how they're going to work that out, but there are players that other teams want. Not only Kane, there was the rumor about Madrid, apparently the Eriksen thing for 100 mil. Like,
I'm surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if people come sniffing around for Son and for Ali, and even Vertonghen and Alderweireld. at the back, and to a certain extent, I wouldn't be surprised if people came asking for Hugo Lloris as well. Those are all members of that squad that definitely could be poached.
But here's my thing, though: at what cost?
Yeah.
You're gonna sell. Who's gonna want Vertonghen? You're not gonna sell Vertonghen for 40 million. You're gonna sell him. Let's say you get 30 for him, but then you're gonna have to bring in a player that now to replace his talent. That nowadays his talent at a younger age is gonna cost 60.
Yeah.
Yes,
Unless they funnel through the youth, right? But Kane, I don't know about Son. I don't know if Son's going anywhere.
No,
He's been the form player, but I don't know if he's gonna go anywhere. He does have a huge market. I mean, like it would work. It would make sense, but I don't know if he could really elevate to anything higher than this. And for Ali, I still think that like he would have to stay in England because I don't know if he could go anywhere else abroad and really light things up. But I get what you're saying, and it's a tough situation. I feel like you can't really predict it until we edge closer to it.
Yeah, I'm just saying if someone's looking at that Spurs team, those are the assets that when I look at that roster, that if I'm gonna poach anybody, it's gonna be those guys.
Yeah,
those are the names on my list, on my top 5, if you wanna call it. I'm not going in there to poach Harry Winks or.
Don't
At this point, I think he's sort of been an unsung hero. This good stretch that they've had in the last 2 months, he's been at the base of that diamond. He's done fairly well.
Of course, and credit to him. But again, he's not on my top 5.
Out of the whole rest of the roster,
I
would agree with you wholeheartedly.
Yeah, of course.
He's not there yet.
No.
I don't want to get into Solskjaer and Pochettino. We'll get into that. We have enough time to get into that down the season. But we cool? Fab, you sure you're not gonna hit me?
No, never. You know it's all love.
I'll play it.
He knows it's all love.
What's the next big thing that happened this weekend? What matters?
Arsenal losing?
Samir comes back. Ozil still not there. Arnautovic wanting to get the bag in Asia.
He's gone.
Is he?
Wow.
It's not official.
It's not official, but
told you until West Ham sends me that tweet.
They are going to hold off on that tweet for as long as they can.
Telling me farewell.
Yeah. No, it's not official, but it looks.
He was waving to everybody.
Yeah, it looks. I was about to say, it looked pretty final.
I wonder if he left his Pumas in center field.
What a trade-off. So you get rid of Arnautovic and then you bring in Samir Nasri.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean...
That sure is leveling up.
Yeah, in terms of the locker room, I mean, okay, great. I'm a huge Nasri fan, but there just seems to... Something always goes wrong with him. I don't think he's a very good human being. I'm going to be straight with you guys. I really don't think he's a very good human being. So
he's not a locker room guy?
No, so I want to see how Manuel handles this. But
I think it's kind of shitty for them because you got Marco, and now you finally complimented him with somebody like Philippe. And now you're going to lose the central figures. Now you're back to who's going to start up front? Chicha?
Yeah.
Like, is he going to be in it for the long haul for the rest of the season?
Big bad Andy.
But that's on Marco.
Oh no, 100%. Yeah. That's him giving up on the team.
Yeah.
He's
He's
like,
wait till the summer.
They want to give me the bag in Asia.
Yeah.
Let's pack our bags.
But you know what's funny is that there were rumors about him going to Inter, him going to some other Serie A teams. And all of a sudden, he's going to Asia. For me, it's, and no disrespect to Asian soccer, but for me, that's he's taking the money and
of course.
Well, you don't got to sugarcoat it.
Yeah, you don't got to sugarcoat
we
shit.
know he's taking the bag. Is his brother the agent?
Yeah,
something along
that
those
makes
lines.
sense.
So,
his brother's taking the bag too.
Yeah, he's both getting some money and go. I don't know how old he is, but
hang on, that's exactly what I was just asking.
Man, you got to think about livelihood.
Yeah.
You gotta think about
he's 30. Yeah.
Oh, okay, never mind. Okay, so that kind of changes my
Where else is he gonna really
tune.
go? He wants to get that final payday.
Yeah, that's fine.
That makes
Do
sense.
we care?
No.
Okay.
You want to see the other reason why he probably went? That all makes sense.
Yep.
Okay.
That all starts to add up.
All right.
That's a good reason.
Anyways, Arsenal lose. It looks like the Unai bounce is done. when Ollie gets going, Unai goes down.
They both can be successful at the same time,
it's
right?
just not going to work like that. Sorry, folks. Hope you don't live in a household that supports Arsenal and United, because it's never going to work out.
No.
I have a big
Is the honeymoon phase, as they like to say, over for Emery? Is it now the heat?
Okay, I'm gonna take this. No, because I feel like, yeah, it technically is, but we know what this Arsenal side is. We know what stage they're at, and I'm not making excuses for them. But for him, I feel like now everything's kind of cycling in. Like, damn, like if he didn't know he needed a new back line, now he knows he needs a new back line. I've told Fabs I think he needs a new goalkeeper too, but that's for a whole nother debate.
We're not arguing about goalies anymore.
Yeah. I was about to say that's enough goaltender talk for one day.
I think it's just odd, and I want to, like, can Mesut come out and do a press conference? Like, could someone speak on his behalf? Like, where the hell is he?
He's playing Fortnite.
I asked this like 3 weeks ago. I said, where was Mesut?
But
I told you he's playing Fortnite.
This was a real one where you look on the other side and they got Samir, and you got Ozil, who's probably fit, not even in the 18.
Yeah.
And when you're missing someone like that against a side like that,
Yeah,
that weren't that great in the opening 45 or so, they were leaving. Noble was leaving Declan to dry in midfield.
Yeah.
Antonio didn't give a damn about Kolasinac. Iwobi was pulling Zabaleta all over the pitch, but it just wasn't coming together for them. But with West Ham, eventually Antonio dropped off, and then they had the combination between Samir, who helped out with Philippe, helped out with Marco, and it just worked.
A good finish by Declan Rice, by the way.
Yeah, it was
a nice classy side foot.
Yeah, big week for him because he signed that contract and whatnot. They got to chill with him though, and don't ruin the kid.
Yeah,
he's a nice player.
Yeah, but don't
keep it there for now.
Yeah. Don't ruin him, please.
Yeah, he's being already compared to Mark Noble and a bunch of other Englishmen.
I hope he's better than Mark Noble.
Well, so do I.
I
But,
was gonna say that's not too hard.
No,
that's cool.
No, he might already be better than him.
It's gonna be the next Mark Noble.
I never want to aspire to be the next Mark Noble.
No, neither do I.
Don't let your kid ever aspire to be that.
Poor kid.
But going back to Ozil, wow, have the mighty fallen? What's next for him? He wants to stay, but what's
nobody
the point?
wants him.
Yeah.
Clearly, it has to be a tactical thing that Unai doesn't trust him, or
if you lose Ozil and Ramsey in the same.
So Ramsey's gone.
Well, that's what I mean. Now, who creates
the Juve scoop?
Ramsey's gone.
Who creates now?
That's a great question.
Nobody.
Yeah.
They were. I hate January because there's always these links, and I don't want to be the link guy, so I'm not even gonna bring up that link. But yeah, who does create?
Mm-hmm. I don't think we could probably all agree that Aubameyang is at his best when he's playing wide.
No. But Lacazette does offer you something, except for this week. And then, I was watching Iwobi, and I'm like, I don't know, maybe I'm tripping, but I feel like he's like a poor man's Raheem. like you just, you're like $10 short or $20 short, and you're like, okay, you could come.
They took Raheem and they stretched him out.
He's a poor man's Raheem, man.
Raheem Sterling, you're talking about, right?
Iwobi he does so many good things until he gets to the box.
And then he overtouches it.
And then his shot is trash.
But you know what? It's funny. You could have said that about Sterling until Pep came.
Well, I think
Raheem's shot's still trash.
I was gonna say, I think
I love Raheem.
The ceiling to Raheem was always a lot higher than I think the ceiling to Iwobi.
Oh yeah, absolutely. No, absolutely.
I can't. It's frustrating to watch him because he just does everything right,
and then he panics and tracks back and
does a little stutter. I'm like, yo, man, just pass the ball. But I
think Arsenal have just come back down to earth.
Yeah. This is what
it's just a case of that. Yeah, I think we all knew coming into the season that start was never going to sustain itself.
No,
that wasn't real.
No.
So now it really is on Unai to regroup and see what I can get out of these guys to get me to the end of the season.
Yeah,
because now, even on top of it all, if he manages to pull that fourth spot somehow, then as the owners, you got to be like, shit, he managed that. We have to give him some resources.
Yeah, with this?
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's the same thing almost with Sarri, where he has to be allowed to bring in some more of the players that he wants.
Yeah,
Well,
I agree with that fully.
There's talk that Chelsea are bringing in a striker. Big Gonzalo. Big Bad.
Are we done with Arsenal before?
No, sorry. I don't want to move away from them.
Okay.
I'm just saying that there is talk, but
do we
we'll
believe
get to that.
Arsenal will really do anything in the January? Because I
don't
get that.
No.
It was only the Denis Suarez thing.
Yes.
Yeah, you saw that, right?
Yeah.
No, I don't think Arsenal. I think this Arsenal, the Arsenal that we're seeing right now, will be the Arsenal that we see after the January transfer window, unless they loan out some kids. But that's about it.
So is this Arsenal good enough to compete for that fourth spot, or do we eventually see them sort of trail behind?
I don't think they'll finish in the top four. So
what I mean is, will they move away from that pack for the fight for the fourth?
They'll be closer.
Or you think they'll be there all season?
They'll be closer to that pack than the Watford Everton pack.
Yeah.
that's my hot take.
I think they'll keep it close for a while, but I think they'll slowly start to drift away. And to be honest, I think I even want to venture to say that Man United team right now.
Don't say it.
I'll say it. We'll close the gap. We'll close the gap on Arsenal.
The gap is closed.
They're level. Yeah.
They're gonna
So
close.
United will
close the gap,
And if Arsenal loses, we can.
and they're gonna go ahead. No, but I think Arsenal slowly start to slip away from that.
I almost can't wait because Angry Troops is my favorite troops. So
yeah,
he could be pissed.
Angry Troops look defeated at Brighton. So
after these next two fixtures,
it might get depressing after this.
Who does Arsenal have? They have Chelsea this weekend, and then
they have Chelsea. They have
Cardiff. No,
then they have I can't remember who's in between. Then they have City.
So it's Cardiff, I think.
So in their next three games, they play Chelsea and City.
Yeah.
That Chelsea game is at home for them. It's big.
Yeah,
and I think they fare well against Chelsea, given the way that Chelsea plays. So
apart from poor finishing the first goal round, they should have.
They should have won at Stamford Bridge, right?
Yeah.
So big game for Unai, and I think that if they're able to win that, then that'll really turn the tide around and really reinstore that confidence that they once had.
Yeah.
But it's tough, man. It's a long season. It's his first season there. It's Aubameyang's full season there. Feel like they miss Mkhitaryan. He was very good before he disappeared. You'd like to hope that maybe they could bring back Ozil at some point. I've always felt that Bellerin and Monreal were key to what they were doing, and that is pivotal. And he has to manage, and I see that he's managing Lucas now too, because it's Lucas Torreira's first season in the Premier League. Yeah. And usually what happens is that those foreign players, and a lot of the times South American players that come to the league, the first season, within the first few months, they start very well. And then once we get to the Christmas period, they kind of fade off a bit.
Yeah.
And we're seeing that with him. So I feel that he has to manage that accordingly.
Especially the type of player he is too.
Yeah.
He's that nitty-gritty in your face for 90 minutes.
Yeah.
So for you to keep that up, especially that Premier League grind, it's difficult.
It's very difficult. But it doesn't really help him that he has Xhaka and Guendouzi there as well, right? So there's a lot of things that has to happen at that club, and I feel like Unai is the best manager in terms of getting one of the best managers in terms of getting the best out of players that aren't really there. And I feel like the Arsenal board should look at this and, should be able to work with them. I trust their board to work with him over the Chelsea board to work with Sarri.
Yeah, their track record is terrible at working with the manager.
Yeah. So it's a tough loss for Arsenal. Shout out to West Ham because those are my Premier League guys. Y'all were joking on Pellegrini. Don't ever laugh on his name again. And it's a tough loss for Arsenal, but it just makes this week's game much bigger. But they weren't that great apart from the tactical battles that were the tactical advantages that were presented to them based off West Ham's naivety to an extent, right? So, yeah, that's where I stand on that. If you guys don't got anything to say, then I guess we gotta
cycle right over to Chelsea.
It's funny
since you're on
how
it.
we're not talking about the title contenders this week to start. Yeah, yo.
We switched it up.
Yeah, we switched it up this week. Chelsea.
Chelsea are Chelsea.
Yeah.
Are we tired of Sarriball?
You know what? Somebody was asking me that. What is that? What is
I don't know. The mainstream media.
What is it? Because
A ton of passing that goes nowhere.
Don't try and hit me with the. I asked what the Manchester United way was. No, I'm joking. Good.
no, because
Sideways passing.
a lot of teams do that.
If I see David Luiz start the game with another cross-field pass, then I feel like that's their go-to to
That happens
start
every game.
every single
Yeah.
game.
Yeah, you know when I did that under 11, when I used to pass it back to the center back, and used to kick it as far as he could.
Hey, it worked for Pedro this time around. We got on to the end of that one.
Good finish.
You weren't hitting the no look pass.
There's no way young Dan was hitting the no look.
Yeah, you're right. I can barely look. Doesn't look now.
Okay, whoever asked that question, I respect the question. Well, they got to chill too. Because whatever we're seeing now is not what Sarri intends for this. It's not the way that he intends for this team to play.
No, because I think there's a lot of those players that are, if he could get rid of them, he would.
So why don't you tell the person that asked that question that answer?
What?
Hang on though. How different is this Chelsea team to Napoli though?
Oh, it's a lot.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't think it's that different.
No.
Like, who's he going to bring in that's really going to change us apart from a goal scorer, which I think we all agree is what he desperately needs.
No, you're kind of right if you're looking
like
from a stylistic standpoint, yes.
The meat and
but
potatoes.
I'm talking about if you watch Napoli when he first got there and you compare that to now, I mean, it was a work in progress. The only reason why it wasn't getting highlighted that much is because, one, no one really expected Napoli to win the league. Yeah. And two, you don't got English pundits every week, talking about it to that degree. So that's where I'm going with it, is that I think, and you're the one that defended them and that they shouldn't fire him. And I agreed with you.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know like I said, I don't know if the board is going to do it or not, but Chelsea supporters, because some of them were booing. I don't know if you heard that.
Yeah, they were.
Yeah. They got to chill too.
Yep.
Like, can we not forget that Sarri got hired like 3 weeks before the season started?
Yep.
But I think that's something else that you have to take into consideration is that what he did with that Napoli team on that São Paulo pitch allows them to do, and even allowed them to play that style last year. That pitch is it's a wide pitch. It almost reminds me of a little bit, probably as wide as Wembley. Stamford Bridge is a tight pitch. So you also have to take in the confines of the pitch as well. Sorry, well, that was my analysis.
This is wild.
Yo,
sorry, you're wild.
Hey, listen,
these are professional. Eden Hazard should be able to play in this room that we're in right now.
No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying the pitch allows you to be able to play with a little bit more, have a little bit more time.
You don't think Sarri knows that?
I'm just saying you're asking them to play like Napoli. You're not going to have that.
The amount of crossfield passes that David Luiz hits, I think he's got lots. He's got too much time.
But I'm not asking them to play like Napoli. I'm asking them to play the way that Sarri wants them to play.
But Sarri wants them to play like his old Napoli team.
We don't know that.
Well, that's Sarriball if you want to, whatever the hell that is.
I never labeled it Sarriball.
4-3-3. Well, lots of passing. Ooh, that's new and inventive.
He could have evolved.
Listen, he plays the same starting frickin' 11 every week. It's the same thing as he was doing.
And that's my point: is how much has he really evolved here?
He hasn't. But the problem is that 11 that he plays week in and week out.
You're gonna answer your own question for you. We'll continue.
Yeah.
Continue.
Who the hell does he have on the bench to change that?
You see how you? Well, then why? Then obviously he's gonna play the same 11 every.
But even if he had a bench, you think he would use it?
I think that if they invest into the squad in the summer and he's still there, you're not going to see some of those guys playing week in and week out. He kind of has to play. He doesn't want to play Mateo Kovacic anymore on a week-to-week basis, but he kind of has to because who else does he have? Ross?
The only person that on that bench that I expected to play a little bit more was Ederson.
Emerson?
Emerson.
Well, no, he can't defend.
Yeah, I know, but neither can.
Y'all need to chill on Marcus Alonso.
Marcus Alonso.
That you got to chill on Marcus Alonso. I know a lot of people don't really like him.
I don't see it. Like, I don't see why everybody's so tough on him for.
Yeah, because you know what he is. We know what he brings.
I think he's very much at the very bottom of the worry list. On that side.
Yeah. There are weaknesses there, but the board knows it. The managers know it. So people want to kill him. Well, I'm not gonna kill him. You know what I'm saying?
I agree.
But yeah, sorry. The what we're seeing at Chelsea hasn't been very fun to watch. But when I look at the players that they have on their squad, it's not surprising.
So if they do bring in, let's say they bring in a striker, and let's say it is Higuain.
We're in January. Are we looking short term? Okay, let's look short term.
Short term. Let's look short term for now. They bring in a striker. They bring Higuain. He scored in all the other leagues that he's played in. Does he give Chelsea something to go with on a short term basis? Is that a good enough short term solution for Chelsea? They need a striker.
It's better than the other two, so yes. It's better than the other two, so yes.
It's better than playing a false nine.
Yeah, it's better than the other two, so yes. That's my answer.
And long term, who do they need?
The thing is, what track record does Roman have of wanting to fix things short term? Like, he's not. If he's gonna get somebody, it's gonna be somebody that he can turn into a long term. They're not gonna get Higuain now to him in the summer to leave.
No, of course not.
Whoever his fix is gonna be now, it's gonna be probably Sarri's guy for the rest of his Chelsea career, if it lasts a year and a half.
Which won't be that long if we're going like this.
Well, he wants. I mean, for Sarri, he's worked with Higuain before.
Yeah.
So it would be a natural solution if Higuain does come.
Higuain's too old. Sorry, that's not a long-term solution. And if the board buys him and values him as a long-term solution, then that again is another indictment on the Chelsea board and the problems that they have. So that's how I see it. If they want to bring him in and they're going to offload the other two and then bring someone else in, then okay, I can understand where they're going with that. But if they're at this point, you would like to think that they have to bring someone in, but given everyone else, I think they could survive without the other two, right? I mean, they could survive with the two that they have now going till the end of the season because no one expects them to really win the league.
I don't think they can miss out on Champions League.
Do you think they'll be okay without the two strikers?
That's difficult because you're literally getting scraps out of those guys.
Yeah,
I know. I think you need if you really truly aim is to get into that top four, I think you need a striker.
Well, if they beat Arsenal, they got some good cushion room.
Like you have to be getting at least a goal from one of those guys.
I know, but I'm just saying. I sound like Dan now, but if they beat Arsenal, they have some good cushion room because, like I said, those other.
No, I hear you.
That's the thing, right?
Yeah. But will that just be okay? Just making the top four in terms of for the fans
for this year, yes.
Okay, well, those Chelsea fans need to relax because. Yeah, I'm really sounding like that now. When you really look at it,
you want to talk about pitch dimensions?
No, I don't want to talk about pitch dimensions. When you look at it, we're talking all this crazy talk about Sarri and all this ugly football that they are not liking. And in the past, Chelsea have been renowned for playing football that is, not that pleasurable to watch anyways. And they only sit 1 point back of Spurs and like a few points back of a City side that is on this historic run.
Yeah. 6 back of them. 10 back of Liverpool.
That ain't too damn shabby for what Chelsea were last season.
For a first-year goal round.
And given the fact that they didn't really give Sarri much, and given the fact that he came in 3 weeks before the season started.
And then he doesn't have a striker.
And he doesn't have a striker. And they're trying to learn to play a different type of football.
Yeah.
A new system. And they're 1 point behind the third best team in England. the third best team in England, and a few points behind Pep Guardiola's Manchester City.
Yeah.
So I don't know why we're killing him. I really don't know why we're killing him.
I just think they need Champions League football.
But yeah, and I agree with you. But the culture at that football club, that's the problem. And they've developed this short-term, short-sighted view of how things should be, just like their owner. So to me, Chelsea fans are an image of their owner.
They got that rich man mentality.
And that's a big problem, because eventually that rich man's money,
will dry up.
It dries up. Eventually, and
I don't know, there's a lot of oil in Russia.
Eventually, there's got to come a point, and I speak to all the managers out there, is that you got to refuse the bag or the severance bag and say no, and don't go to the club, because what is the point?
It tarnishes your.
What the hell did Antonio Conte get out of going there? Yes, he won the league, and he did some fine fashion, but what did he get out of it? What did Mourinho get out of going back? When we look at this right now, what is Sarri going to get out of it? What did AVB get out of it?
I was going to say, if you look at a lot of the managers that left after Chelsea, they didn't go to good places.
Yeah.
No.
What did Scolari get out of it? So this is where you have to call on the managers that yes, Chelsea's calling, but you're probably better off in a different environment where you get the backing, where you get the time to show what you're capable of. And if it doesn't work out, well, then, hey, you got the time.
Mm-hmm.
But at this club, it's totally different. The fans, totally, it's surprising. And when they look at it now, when Eden leaves, because I think we all think that he's going to leave.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mind you.
He's been talking about it himself all year.
Yeah, exactly.
And I don't think he has a reason to stay. I really don't think he has a reason to stay.
I don't blame him, no. Not at all.
Do I think that he's making the right decision? That's for another day. But, when you look at that, like, if I'm him, they got to do something. And they got to give this manager something. But this weekend, it just goes to show the goals. I feel like if Chelsea doesn't score in like the opening 10 or 15 minutes of the games, then it really drags.
Yeah.
Yep, I agree.
Because they lack
a
spark from somewhere.
Pedro's goal was nice because the Luis pass, he took it down well. I thought Hazard was phenomenal in the build-up to the Willian goal.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And the finish was not too shabby either.
Can somebody answer me why the hell Barcelona would want Willian?
Yeah, I heard. I saw that rumor. I don't know.
Because if I'm Chelsea, I'm taking Malcolm in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
I don't care if that kid's only been good in Liga. I'm taking him in a heartbeat. I'm swapping for a younger player. Sure.
Yep. They said that they don't want Malcolm. They just want straight cash. That's the rumor.
That's the ultimate disrespect to your own player.
Yeah.
That's what Chelsea wants straight cash.
Oh, goodness.
For what?
For Willian.
No, I know. But now you lose another player to replace him with
nobody.
Nobody.
Well, Hudson-Odoi.
Yeah,
which a lot of Chelsea fans are clamoring for to get more time.
Yeah.
That fan base is interesting. I just found it interesting that they were booing him. And when you really look at how long he's been there, what he's trying to do, what he was left with.
It's been 6 months.
What he hasn't been given. And they're already turning. What did they expect for him to make,
They really, I guess people really expected him to win a title? Win the Premier League?
No, not in this era. Not
with those other two guys ahead.
Not with those two other
especially
guys. Not with those other two guys that have been there for 3 years.
And have been given the resources.
This isn't like when Conte got there and it was a bit of a mess still. Because Conte got there right after the Leicester.
Right.
Yeah. That was a very bad, that was the end of a bad time for the Premier League era. So no, it's not going to happen again. So you got to get that out of your mind. But Sarri is not expected to do anything with those two, and the fact that you don't have a goal scorer and you're relying on Eden Hazard to get the job done. And that's a big problem. That's a huge problem. So when you look at it, I think he's done a really good job to be 1 point back of Spurs, to be possibly in a cup final, to be a few points off City, who have been extremely good this season. And the only reason why they're not closer to the top of the title is because Liverpool have been on an insane run.
Mm-hmm.
So when you put some context into it, he's not going to turn things into gold overnight. Pep didn't do it. Klopp didn't do it. Poch didn't do it.
It's virtually impossible.
So why the hell do you think Sarri's gonna do with these bums? Sorry to call them bums, but
They're over there.
they don't do themselves any favors. Eden shows it in his emotions. So yeah. Newcastle's in the bottom 3 now. we want to move over there.
Thanks.
Yo man, Rafa will be fine. I'm not worried about that.
No, he'll land on his feet. He's like a cat.
Yeah.
There's no way they're finishing below Cardiff.
Yeah. Huddersfield fired
Oh no, the mutual
consent.
You know what?
Wagner?
You know what? In this situation, I believe that because if I'm him, I don't want to be there.
They're mutually like, okay, you can leave.
Yeah, I don't want to coach these guys.
Yeah.
So I get it. That's fine. That's one of the few mutual consents I understand. Liverpool won against Brighton.
Brighton made it hard for them.
They made it hard for them at Anfield too.
Yeah.
I kind of expected it. That's what Brighton likes.
Yeah.
They like those games a little rough around the edges.
Mm-hmm.
Play it slow.
You know what? For a long period of time, I actually thought Liverpool were not going to be able to find a solution against that Brighton defense. And if it wasn't for that, it was a penalty, 100%. But poor tackle by a midfielder in the box.
Gross.
Liverpool were really struggling to break down Brighton. So kudos to Brighton for making it difficult on a good Liverpool side to try to find the result. But in the end, Liverpool does find a result.
To me, that's the one thing that Liverpool sometimes lacks. Is that little bit of that midfield creativity. Just because the 3 midfielders that they do have they're great at what they do. Don't get me wrong. But do they have that little creative flair that I think, like, for example, if they had Ox provides that little bit of creative flair. He can make a bursting run into the box. He can make a secondary run. He can play a good ball. Like the other players, I don't want to say it's a reliance on the front 3, or we expect the front 3 to almost always bail them out.
Yeah.
Because they, most of the time they do, to be fair.
Mm-hmm. You made a good point, but that's been the MO of Liverpool's season. I could think of countless games where they've been on the road and they just don't look like they're going to score. Watford, I could think to Wolves, recent memory. They've had a lot of games like that, even at home to Everton.
Was it Bournemouth? Was it Begovic with that gaff?
Yeah. So that's kind of what they are. They kind of struggle to break down teams. I thought they managed the game well, but like you said, it just didn't look like they were going to score. That's been a bit of the change that we've seen under Klopp this season, is that they haven't been that expansive, but they've been able to really just grind out results, bog down. They're able to play the front 4 and get more creativity, but there's just that part of me that feels that like Spurs, I don't know why. It's just a logical thing to feel like that front 3 is going to eventually burn out, because I feel like they've played a lot of games over the past 2 seasons and they play week in and week out, and they rarely get a rest. Even in that FA Cup game, they still got thrown on.
Yep.
I'm interested. I'm not going to say that they are. I'm interested to see what their performance levels are in late March and April, because that will be key to see how they go about things. Because I don't know, you could have that great season run, and a lot of the times teams do it when they don't have any other competitions, but they still got some big games in Europe to play as well.
Do you give them a pass on conceding the FA Cup then?
No, I don't. No,
I don't.
No. We never have to talk about that. No, I don't.
Because I don't.
No.
Not in the position that you are right now.
Yeah.
No. I
trophies are trophies.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And we said that on this podcast, that Klopp needs to win trophies. And
I think, sorry to cut you off, but I think that's what sides that win the treble, sides that win the double, it's so impressive that they've been able to compete on all fronts, or they have a roster. That's the point. That was the main point of bringing in Keita. That was the point of bringing in Fabinho, so that you could compete on all fronts.
Competitions. Not to just, because look, Don't tell me you're throwing in the bag for the Champions League.
I hope Liverpool fans don't believe that.
Don't tell me you're throwing it all in for the Champions League, because that is a risky game. And I still even think throwing it in for the league is a risky game. I just think that in that position that you're in, like I'm very upset that Klopp goes about his business like that.
I agree. I was disappointed in that cup exit. I think we said this. Like I said, we said this on another podcast. They need to win trophies, and whether it's the FA Cup, whether it's the league, whether it's the Premier, whether it's the Champions League, a trophy is a trophy. And I'm disappointed at the exit of the FA Cup. It is what it is, but I
think you can go about it a lot better. Like you could have played one of the front three with a couple of the kids,
right?
Not just a full 8 to 9 changes of your side, right? Yeah, it's asking a lot of all the kids that play.
Yeah.
My thing is just, who do you think you are? Who do you really think?
You haven't won nothing to really deserve that yet.
Who do you really think you are?
And to that, it's not that they played some tier League 2.
They went to Wolves.
They went to Wolves, like
who you knew was going to play their A side.
That's right. That's what I mean. It's like, if you said like, oh, they went to Skunkthorpe or
Burton,
Burton Albion, Ipswich, Luton Town, I could
stop showing off at this point.
Okay. I could understand you playing the kids, but like you said, Wolves is a good Premier League side who are going to play their starting 11.
Yeah.
And you got what you deserve when you play like that.
Yeah. So now it's going to be real funny if you don't win either of those competitions.
I'm bringing up that tweet that I quoted.
And we're going to kill the hell out of you.
Yep.
Because that's just how it goes. I want to say don't be a snob, but don't be that guy. Those competitions matter. And it should matter to the fans too. But I don't know if they want to throw all their eggs in that one basket.
That's what kept the fans off Arsene Wenger's back for so long.
Yeah.
The fact that he ended every season with an FA Cup.
Yeah.
It makes you forget about the terrible season.
Yeah.
That they had,
I don't
right?
care if you push City to the end and then you lose when you had a chance to win the FA Cup.
That's nothing.
That's not how it goes.
It's not going to be good enough this time.
Be a winner.
But even if the reality is that if you want to be considered a top team and if you want to be considered a top manager, it comes down to trophies. They don't say, oh, how many times did you finish second or how close were you to winning first? No, it depends on if you win the league or not. And if you win the FA Cup, I don't care if you lose in the FA Cup final, Champions League final, that doesn't matter. We don't say to Allegri, he's had a great years at Juve because he's won all those Scudettos and Coppa Italias and he lost in the Champions League final twice. It doesn't matter. He didn't win. It's all about winning. That's the end of the game is how many trophies do you put in the cabinet? How many trophies do you have in your coaching career? And this was an opportunity for Klopp to win his first trophy at Liverpool, and I think he made a mistake.
Yeah, and he has 0. So
many as Poch.
Yeah, good for you, Klopp. On a lighter note, City won.
Finally, things went their way this time.
Yeah.
That was an ugly tackle, by the way.
There are people.
I thought it was a red.
I heard people say it wasn't a red.
Okay.
English fans really are the best.
I had to comment on what harsh. It was a harsh call. I was like, yo.
Listen, he goes studs up on the ankle.
I was like, yo, let him just break Bernardo's ankle. Harsh, he got the ball.
You know what? Man. But you know how many times I hear that? Oh, he got the ball.
Oh,
now listen.
Those rules have changed.
That doesn't mean anything.
No.
You can't go in.
He left the ground with his studs up, and he stayed in the tackle.
Yeah.
See, I'm not shocked. I watched him at Porto. I'm not shocked at all.
I'm like, yo, man. Like, are we serious? And the thing I hate about fans, too, is like, oh, well, Company didn't get sent off for the foul on Salah. Well, Van Dijk didn't get for the foul he did on Mertens. Yeah. So it balances out. And you can't compare different games with different referees.
No.
I'm happy the referee got it right this time.
Yep.
And we're going to salute to him. Yeah, that was a disgusting tackle.
That's the stuff that you're trying to get rid of.
Yeah.
You don't want the
Yeah.
top players to be injured because of some stupid tackle like that.
Yeah.
You want to see the players on the pitch.
Yeah. Sorry, Willie. Take your 3 games.
Yeah.
Sorry, you ruined it.
Yeah.
It could have been a great game, but it wasn't.
Hey, you know what? Wolves had a pretty good chance at when they went 1-0 down.
Yeah.
Not that do I think for a second that Wolves down to 10 men, even if they score to tie that up at 1-1, will they be able to hold on? But you know what? To their credit,
I don't know, man.
no, I know. But to their credit, Wolves hung around for a good stretch in that second half, and I thought honestly the penalty shot was a little bit weak on Raheem, but I'm not going to be picky.
Yeah, don't.
No.
City, don't.
No.
I felt like City were in like third gear. I don't know if they really pushed as hard as they could have after going up 2, to be fair, but it's something that they needed. They needed a bit of a break this week, so the race is still on for another week.
I seen someone post something that said that Liverpool's chances of winning the Premier League is up to like 67% now or something.
I read
Or
77.
77?
I read 77.
Okay,
It was
77.
quoted by ESPN.
There it is.
Yo, where's ESPN getting these numbers from? I want to know.
Opta.
I want to know where they get these numbers from. I need some statistics on, or some percentages on like me winning the lottery and shit. Like what?
0.5.
Yeah.
77%.
0.00005.
5, yeah.
77%. Yo, shout out to ESPN for making.
They
up
should
that
know better.
number. Yeah. Come on, man.
Those tweets never end up well.
Yeah.
No.
When you start putting those tweets out
Yeah.
4 months early,
Yeah. Those come and
those are going
bite
to be
you.
retweeted later at some
Yeah,
point.
Yeah,
that's going to
you're
come
gonna
back
get
and bite
killed.
you.
So don't jump on the wave that just because it's going right now.
Yeah. So we're gonna do a quick Premier League roundup. Burnley beat Fulham. And I'm pretty sure they only had they had no shots on target.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it was like
Fulham scored all those goals.
Yeah.
2 own goals.
So the Sherlock goal was fire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a hit.
That was one of the goals of the weekend.
Yeah.
Easy.
What else happened in the weekend?
Too bad they can't defend.
Tom Cleverley came back.
Watford beat Palace.
Yeah, shout out to Tom Cleverley. Palace need to fix up a bit. That little City win kind of like masked a lot of things, but like they got some issues over there.
Everton beat Bournemouth on the weekend. 2-0.
Bournemouth's been trash for like
Or 1?
the past.
2.
Bournemouth's been bad for
Yeah,
the past 12 games.
That's another rumor. Callum Wilson to Chelsea as well.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
they slapped some stupid 75?
75 million. Yeah.
If they get finessed into 75 million, you
Yeah,
can have them.
we're
Good for him.
No, if they get finesse for 75 million, we're canceling Chelsea.
You can have them.
We're canceling Chelsea.
Yeah.
Leicester lost to Southampton.
Yeah.
Southampton, baby. Down to 10 men too.
Yeah.
Just let it be known.
I think Cardiff tied 0-0.
Yes, they did.
Huddersfield,
Thank
right?
God I didn't watch Cardiff.
that was
nil-nil.
see that
Oh.
like Coppa Italia, that wasn't televised, so I just want to let you guys know.
Hey, listen.
But you know what's funny? You talked about Liverpool not playing their stars. Ronaldo played.
He came out in the second half.
Still
Still-
played.
Yeah, no. Yeah. Dybala played too in the second half.
There you
He ain't a star.
No, I know. Your boy scored.
He needs those minutes.
Yeah, he needs to
Yeah.
prep.
But they played everybody what's his name? Pjanic played. Chan played.
Allegri's trying to save face.
Dad's trying to get us that Coppa Italia plug right now. Look, all the big teams won.
Yeah.
We're gonna get back to Serie A and Bundesliga next week.
Yeah, that's fine.
When they come back.
But shout out to Juve.
Yeah, Bernardeschi scored. That's your boy. You were asking for him.
Yeah, I was asking for him. He
And he
kind of
scored.
disappeared.
He lives.
He pulled the Ozil.
Yes.
So I'm happy he came back
Yeah.
with some sauce.
Yeah.
That's good for him.
Yeah. Shout out to Moses Keane too.
No
Yeah.
shout out to
Yeah,
him.
young kid. He had a good dance.
No,
he would have
he's
made you
Paul's
proud
friend.
in the club.
He's Paul's friend. We don't
You
co-sign
and
none
Paul
of
are
Paul's
trading
friends.
off dance moves. No, we're good. We're canceling the dance moves. Like we're canceling team. Shout out to Team Grizzy.
Hey,
Shout out to Griezmann.
Hey God, where is
Shout
it?
out to
Where
Team
is it?
Grizz.
Where is it?
Where's
There it is.
Shout out to the Grizz gang.
play his guitar?
Shout out to the Grizzies.
I wish I had a guitar emoticon.
I don't know what else to call them. Atletico, surprise, 1-0. Griezmann penalty. Struggled to create chances. Possibly could have dropped points, but Oblak made a big save. Jimenez doesn't look fit.
Dan thinks it was a penalty.
Their center
Their
center backs are dropping like flies.
Yeah, Savage.
Savage is now gone.
Lamar ain't doing it. Where's Gelson?
Yeah.
Hey, man.
I thought Correa was good. More so in that first half.
Correa's one of the players that I
Quietly.
like to watch on that team.
Yeah.
I feel like what he's doing, Griezmann should do more consistently and a bit better.
Yeah.
But Griezmann didn't cut it for me this week. Again, I don't know if he cut it for you.
Not
No,
surprised.
he's been disappointing again.
The Team Grizz and the Grizzies
Stupid Americans.
Yeah.
called us Americans. Listen.
Let him find us on a map.
Listen, I'm not going to sit here and argue with 15-year-old kids caping for Grizz or the Grizz gang. But we watch this every week. And I know we're over time and Fab's going to kill me, but we have to get this straight that we've watched him on a week-to-week basis and he isn't cutting it. And Atletico need to win trophies and not a Super Cup and not a Europa League
After they
because
get
you got
from
bounced from the
yeah.
Champions League and they didn't win Copa del Rey.
No.
So do something. We're waiting.
I feel bad for Griezmann. He gets yelled at while he's playing.
He should get yelled at.
You know what?
Hey, he chose to stay.
I just got one question.
He chose to stay.
Would you get upset if somebody yelled at you at your job?
He chose to stay.
If they're yelling at you?
Yeah.
If I'm making the bag that he is, yes.
So I'm gonna come to your work and yell at you.
Okay.
Actually, you know what? I think I have.
Yeah. So I don't care. I don't care. How much
You
money?
still performed excellent.
Yeah. I'm not Griezmann.
No.
What's the question you had to ask, Fabs?
Is Simeone holding Griezmann back?
Ooh.
If you want to, I think Simeone may be holding a lot of those players back.
Okay.
I don't know if Koke's really progressed since they won the title. I don't know if Thomas has progressed since he got there. I feel like Saul could possibly be better.
Does Simeone get the best out of his players? Or does he just play a very good unit?
Then that's another good question.
I think he plays. I think he plays very well. I think he's the type of manager that gets that consistency, the unity that you were talking about before. Does he get the best out of his players? You could probably say no.
Like, do we see him turning Lamar from an okay player to a great player?
No.
Do we
I
see
don't
him transforming Correa from a good player to a world-class player?
And I think we can make the case that Griezmann hasn't progressed either.
But I agree, and that was I think that my answers to your answer before. I think no, he doesn't get the best out of his players, but I think his strength is the unity that he gets from the team. That fighting, that you fight for everything. Every ball, every match, every game is a game. But does he get the best out of his players? Does he improve his players? I don't think so.
Yeah. So at some point as a manager, that is your job. And if these players aren't getting better, then how much longer do they? And we know where he stands on that, but that's a big question to ask. And I think that's a question that a lot of people have to ask him and hold him accountable for. Because you bring in all these players, you spent all this money. And I don't know if any of those players have gotten better under your guidance. Perhaps Oblak? But that's told. I don't know.
But
I
do
think
you
that
really
also
give
goes
him
hand in hand with the system.
right?
Usually, right? A
Yeah.
very good defensive team
Yeah.
usually means that your goalie is doing fairly well,
Yeah.
right?
That was going to be my point.
He's still phenomenal. But
Yeah. So that's a big question to ask because, like I said, you keep pulling out these 1-0 wins against inferior opposition, and that goes to my point is that when we look at Barca this week and how Messi wasn't even at his best, and they were able to really get by against an Iber side that obviously hasn't won in how long?
Yeah.
We look at that, and it goes back to my point that I can't see. I would be very surprised if Atletico win this title unless Barca really bomb it. That's the only way I could see them winning. Barca would really have to shit the bed for Atletico to win the league.
I think this is Barcelona's title to lose, as it has been for a while. But I don't see Atletico making a huge push to that Barcelona team. I think they're a couple levels behind.
I think just based off the options that they possess, they're they're just a step above.
Yep.
Your Simeone can be your best rah, but at the end of the day, the players on the pitch are the ones that dictate the game. And I don't think Atletico's 11 can best Barcelona's 11 for the long haul. In a one-off, sure, defensive side can come up and beat Barcelona, but for this long haul, there's just far too many games where they lack that spark, that especially now without Costa. You see it.
Well, their argument is that Griezmann needs. The commentators were ranting about it. Well, Griezmann needs to play behind a center forward to get the best out of him. But Costa's been there. Kalinic has been there.
Yeah. Well, Griezmann's the type of player that he shouldn't need to play off anybody.
No, exactly.
You want to be one of the top 5, top 6, top 7 best players in the world.
Yeah.
Players need to play with you.
Yeah.
Ronaldo doesn't need to play as much as Ronaldo benefits from Benzema, benefits from Mandzukic. We've seen him do it at Portugal with nobody next to him.
Exactly. Yes.
Messi's done it with whoever has come through that Barcelona side.
Yeah.
He's piggybacked Argentina to a World Cup final.
Yep.
But the Grizz gang says otherwise. He should have won the Ballon d'Or.
Yeah.
I don't see Griezmann dictate games like Eden does.
No.
When Eden has one of his games.
Yeah. Oh, no. Eden's better than Grizz.
Yeah. But that's what I mean.
The problem is
if you're putting yourself on that level of those are the players you're comparing yourself, he's nowhere near Neymar.
No.
So, if you're on that level, then you shouldn't have to play behind a center forward.
I don't think he's a top 10 player in the world.
No. I was going to say, he's not top 5 for sure.
100%. I don't think he's top 10.
No, and I was about to venture to say he's not. He might not even be in the top 10.
No, he's not. I don't even got to think about players. He's not.
No, I'm not. And I'm not going to name players, but you're right.
He ain't better than Mo.
That's another question.
Which Mo?
We already went past Liverpool, but
we were talking about that. We were talking about Mo next week.
Yeah. I want to talk about Mo.
We're going to talk about Mo next week. Remember last year? We were we'll wait. Well, it's time.
Yeah.
No, he deserves a deep dive, as you like to say.
Yeah, but we're 2 hours in, so we can't talk about Mo this week.
No,
we can't talk about Mo this week.
No,
Mo ain't shit this week. Real Madrid, quickly.
Real Madrid end the game with a bunch of kids.
Played a back three.
That
against a very good Betis side that, an underrated Betis side.
Betis just need to be more direct.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody please whipping a ball to Joaquin or Canales that they can get onto the end of, because it's too much. Yeah, you're very good at playing out of the back.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, there needs to be something of substance.
Yeah.
It can't just be pass with nothing at the back going around the semicircle.
They really miss Firpo.
Yes.
There you go. That was going to be my...
cut you off.
Sorry. And if they were a little bit more direct, as Fab said, you know what? You couldn't put it past them to get a result.
I thought Madrid
against the Barca. Wouldn't have put it. Wouldn't have been no surprise against Madrid.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I'm gonna give Solari credit for kind of tinkering. And I thought they managed it well. I thought they were obviously much better in the first half to a degree, but I think they managed it well. I think Navas should have saved,
done a little better.
Yeah, done a little bit better. But
does his tinker to a back three show a lack of confidence? To me, it's a bit of sign of that. Is hey, these two guys are this back four that I'm playing. They can't really get the job done right now.
It could, but a good manager does that. Okay. Or I don't want to say he's a good manager, but a manager that's aware of his team's limitations will go that route.
That's fair.
So I'm happy he did go that route. And a bunch of youngsters. Yo, we got to free Isco.
Yeah,
we got to free Isco. That's all I got to say.
Yeah.
There's some tactical issue there. There's some issue. And I'm pretty sure they tried to say it was tactical, but if he's not playing, and I feel like he has to play because they, like Spurs, have a lot of injuries.
Yeah.
Ton.
And they got 8 games.
Did you see Benzema break his finger?
Yeah. They got 8 games from now until the Champions League.
Yeah.
So.
And here's my thing: you can't lose Isco with a Inter manager there because he doesn't want to play him.
Right.
So because now you're in a situation where you have an Inter manager. I don't think very many people believe that Solari will be the manager next season.
Oh, absolutely not.
And then somehow Isco wants out in January.
Yeah.
So you lose Isco and you don't have that manager come near the end of the season.
It's a bad year for Madrid.
Yeah.
That's terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Solari is trying to cover it up. Be like, oh well, this was a year of bringing in the youth.
Yeah.
And da 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 da.
What do you care? You're not going to be here.
Yeah, you're not gonna be there.
And we said at the beginning, this season hinged on is Bale going to be there? Is Benzema's going to be
We
there?
said that.
Are we giving up on Bale?
Oh,
Are we getting to that point?
Yeah, it's a
we're approaching that.
It's a discussion we have to have next week.
Not this week.
Yeah, he's like 30.
Yeah, I don't want to see Christian Bale.
Yeah, you do.
Gareth.
Pause. Nasty.
29.
Yeah, see?
He's reaching that.
Yeah.
Where you don't get back from a lot of those injuries at this age.
And
now.
given that his game is heavily reliant on bursts of speed, that's key. So we have to really look into that. So we have to have a deep dive on him too. Him and Mo. Someone got to write that down. We're going to talk about them. And but that's a big win for Madrid. Sevilla's out of it, so they lost this week. So they're done.
And they play Madrid this week.
Yeah.
Coming up. So
that's big. If Madrid win, they're toast.
If Madrid lose?
Well, Madrid's already been toast. I wrote them off when Dan was gone.
Yeah.
So that title race is done.
10 points back.
So yeah, it's on Barca. And Barca, like I said, they really want to win the Champions League. They could finish off this league campaign and get Coutinho. We got to talk about Coutinho soon.
That's another one on the list.
I thought he was good.
No, he was. But there's been an issue over there.
Yeah,
he's not happy.
And there's tons of speculation too, which doesn't help.
No.
You want to know what? I don't care if he's happy. I really don't care if he's happy. You know what you're getting yourself into when you go to Barcelona. A lot of English players that have the free reins in England to do whatever the hell they want and are the stars of that league end up going to Barcelona and kind of struggle on how to really work things out from a tactical perspective. Cesc is a great example because that happened to him. Cesc was the star boy of the Premier League. And he went over there and Pep said that it's just not working. He likes to move away from his position too much, doesn't make the right runs. And that's something that's ingrained in at that club. Right?
And I also think you need to know that you're taking a back burner to at least two of those guys.
Yeah.
You're not the guy anymore.
No.
Right?
And you should know that.
Yeah.
So if you're okay, that's why Neymar left, because he wasn't okay with that anymore.
Yeah, exactly. He wanted to be the star and
it's just not going to happen there.
No.
So if you're not okay with that.
Neymar's a loser for that.
Yeah, I bet you one day when he looks back at his career, he's going to regret that.
Yeah.
Because that was a team that could have went on to do some serious damage for a long time.
And now there are rumors that he may go back there or to Barca or
Which I don't
to Real
believe,
Madrid.
to be honest with you.
You don't think he'll go back to Spain?
I don't think he'll go back to Barcelona.
So he'll go back to Real. You think he'll go
if
to Real?
he's going to go back, I think he would go back to Real Madrid.
Okay.
And I don't see him playing in England.
Yeah.
No, I don't see him.
So-
No.
If he goes to Real, that's just gonna make his legacy even worse.
Yeah.
So yeah, he has to look at even his international squad. He's not the guy. Neymar's the guy.
Yep.
So get it together.
Mm-hmm.
But with that being said, we're like 2+, and we only talked about the Prem. But Fabs had to get into his bag and try and talk about De Gea.
We had to yell at each other for a little bit.
So that's on you. That's on you.
He's blaming the long podcast on me.
That's on you, man. That's on you.
Okay, let's get off this before I start yelling at you again.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very happy to have you guys back. And I'm
Likewise.
assuming you guys don't have anything else to say by the looks of your faces. So with that being said, and hopefully the camera's still running, this was the episode 53 of the InnerViews Podcast. If you enjoyed what we talked about, if you didn't like what we talked about, and if you liked what we talked about, you could find us on iTunes, the InnerViews Podcast, subscribe, 5 stars, 4 stars. Let us know how you really feel. Throw in a comment. You could also find us on Spreaker, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and any app that you guys use on your Android devices. Someone told me that they have an Android today and that we're not friends because they have an Android, I have an Apple, and I wanted to ask them what app they use, but they couldn't tell me. So you guys find it on your Android apps, and the InnerViews Podcast will be there. You can find us on Facebook, facebook.com/the InnerViews. Like and follow and like. We upload videos every day. We try to youtube.com/the InnerViews. We tactically break down games, usually the big games or whatever games Fabs and I think were cut for that day. You could also, is that all? The only place you can find us? Instagram, Twitter, the InnerViews TV. On there, I post pictures of myself. I gotta stop saying that.
LinkedIn.
And I tweet my thoughts in case you don't want to wait every week to find out. And I retweet Fabs and Dan because sometimes they have great soccer takes that are not hot.
No,
but
he wants
are-
to see us just defend ourselves.
Yeah,
that are
exactly.
very
That's the real.
Yeah,
that's
that's
the
the
root
real.
of that.
that are very informative, and eventually someone's got to give them the smoke, and they got to learn how to deal with it. So
I'm waiting for that day.
So with that being said, that's where you can find us. We do the podcast every Monday. We record on Mondays, out on Tuesdays. So you will, when you're hearing this, it'll probably be Tuesday or after, and you can find us on YouTube a few days later. So with that being said, if no one else has anything to say, this was episode 53 of the InnerViews Podcast. It's your guy Tyrrell,
It's Fab.
Dan.
and we're out, like really out.